Now, oh, okay. Now, see, I need to you know, get excited. Okay, get all happy and excited here. Uh, Now, Kyle Dunnigan just dropped episode one. Okay, so he has gone through a series where he is trying out his new studio, his new setup, his new investment in himself, and included us in the whole endeavor. We uh we explored, I believe, all three of their pre-shows, and it has been some of the uh I would say the most entertaining stuff that I've been able to find. I haven't. I look forward to what Kyle Dunnigan does, and um, was pleasantly surprised with how the show could potentially be. Now, I'm not a big fan of their AI, you know, uh, at anime bimbos or things like that. I think that's kind of uh, maybe lazy, or I mean, and you could think 100 different things with why Kyle is doing it. Um, but he's just making sure he covers all of his bases. Okay, he wants to make sure his male audience is happy, and also to just remind everyone that uh, he knows what people find, what males find attractive. Okay, so we just again just let a man be theatrical if he's theatrical, and he won't have to go through all that. Okay, but he's got to go through all that because old Kitty is just a little, you know, a little too critical, Kitty. Okay, and so he's kind of have to, play these little games, and but he doesn't mind it. He doesn't mind um, doing all that. His whole life has been that. So he develops these little scenarios, and and the show seems to be pretty fun. Now we also got a little bit of Bill Maher. Now I haven't seen too much of Bill Maher either as of lately. Well, no, probably a bit before Christmas. Um, but oh, Seth MacFarlane. This is, if there's ever the yeah, how do I even say it? Because I immediately I want to say the appearance of squeaky clean Hollywood. It's this guy. Uh, but yeah, I don't. I like this. I liked his stuff. Back when it was popping, and I enjoyed it. I couldn't imagine what it would take to have to write all that stuff and do all those voices. So for him to do Family Guy and American Dad and a few others, even the movies that he did, and I guess his big thing was the Hanna Barbera wanted to redo it or something. So that's incredible creative work. So, and whether you like it, if it's not your style or not, you still, it's still a show of someone producing things. So, Trevor Wallace there, he's making those TikTok videos. So, not gonna hate on the guy just because, yeah, he's kind of young, but he's got a little bit of that motivation, the self motivation. But excuse me. But here we are, Kyle, episode 1. And then we got a new derp. Now, this one's 2 hours, okay? That got me all nervous, scratching the back of my neck. Okay? So again, I like these to breathe a bit. Okay? We don't have to jump right in, and we don't want to be taking views. Now, granted, I'm just a small channel. Okay, just the bottom. So I don't think it'll be taking away too many views. But again, I like to respect the craft and what these people are doing. So, I never want to take away from that. Only to introduce people to it and discuss it. And we got a little bit of Duncan Trussell. Okay, again, he's got the same colored back. It's either that purplish, blue kind of thing. Purple. It's all that. Maybe a little bit of. Maybe we'll have some time for Neil Brennan. There's been some Simpson talk since Conan, did his interview. And but again, here we are, Kyle Dunnigan, and it. Now that they're doing a show, maybe I'm not going to find it as funny anymore. Okay, because I was kind of finding the funny within the dynamic between the two of them while they're kind of prepping for it. So there was, you could see a bit of hesitation and doubt in Kitty about Kyle's creative direction. And so much so that Kyle Dunnigan actually put out a Stallone episode. Okay? Now, because I hadn't been caught up with Kyle, and it has nothing to do with him, maybe a little bit of the AI stuff, but I just haven't, been watching. I've been all political. I've just been caught up in all the political stuff. I forgot all about the comedy. So, coming back to comedy. And so I just figured that Kyle Dunnigan's been doing the Stallone thing for a while. But apparently, that was the first time he had done a Stallone in maybe a while, from what I gather in the comments. And I think we watched it. Maybe a few streams ago? But I believe that Kyle Dunnigan put that episode out to get a gauge on if people still like Stallone. And I think it's because Kitty's been putting something in his head, like that it's dumb or boring or whatever kind of simple words that she would use. So everyone was in the comments saying how much they loved it and how much they missed it. And I hope Kyle realizes that. So, okay, yeah, a few nights ago, yeah. So let's take a look and see what they got for their first episode. We've been on the journey.
And they go right before the table read. That's all like.
Here we are, episode 1, the Kyle Dunnigan show. Is it called the Kyle? Oh, there I go. Uh-oh. Let Kyle do Stallone. See, and don't let her do her improv voodoo on it. Yeah, see, she's got those improv hands, doing all sorts of witchery.
You're watching KDTV.
Okay.
I'm Kitty.
And I'm Kyle.
We're here to hang out.
Okay. Now, right off the bat. Okay, and they basically just kind of addressed it right there. They switched spots. And this is something that I had mentioned before. Now, I think when Kitty was sitting here, she realized that her bad side was exposed a bit too much. I'd said that it's her, now let me see if I get this right. It's her, right side that she favors. She sleeps on the left side. That's why it's all smashed. Okay. So it was her left side that was shown more. And now she feels a bit less self-conscious. And Kyle is just cool with it. He's just like, whatever. And then they even did the name swap there. So let's take a look at it again. Let's see. Let's see if she's constantly checking the monitor. Okay. Like, if you see me do this, and I'm doing this all the time, doing a monitor check, it's going to ruin the flow. So Kitty was doing that quite a bit when she was sitting in Kyle's spot here. So this is the first time that I've seen Kyle sitting here and Kitty here. And I think she just had to tell him, I gotta sit here. Okay. So, and Jean-Pierre says that he doesn't think that this is Kyle's good. Yeah, this is everyone's good side. Yeah, and most right side of people is their good side. That's why they always say the left hand path, the left side, has to do with where your heart is. So the heart does a lot of damage to. No, I have no idea. I just made that up. But you got. I don't know. I think he's pulling it off. I think that. I think that he's actually quite symmetrical. Okay, there's not like a lower drooping side on one side. So, but Kitty's all pent up with self-consciousness. So we don't want to put that magnifying glass on her too much, okay? But we're again not about the looks so much. It's how they're acting. Yeah, so, but Kyle's a Kyle's a good friend, okay, and he'll take one for the team.
With you. This is episode 1. Just hang out with us. No pressure. Just come over. It's fine.
Come over.
Kitty, what's on the show today?
Today we have a few great segments. We are going to give them our personal updates.
Right.
We're going to do a little game,
Love
Max's movie game. We're going to do
Love it.
riddles with Gay Rick.
Sounds fun.
We're going to take a viewer question. And the
Sexy.
sexy weather with Annie.
Okay, so now she gets 2 angles like that. So she gets that lower angle, and Kyle only gets the normal 2 shot here. So he doesn't get like a little side cam or anything.
And then we're going to do old-timey stories.
Okay.
And then we're going to probably wrap it up.
I love that. Can I start? I had a really big day the other day. I went to my rock climbing, which I started off, I didn't like it. Max, can you play that clip of me rock climbing?
No.
So I almost quit, but I joined it, to be social. I told you that. And I had a really big social day the other day. First of all, I've gotten better at it. So I'm monking up a little bit.
Okay.
And I was like, I should talk to people.
They're
It's part of
doing a bit
the
of
reason we're doing the show. Just say
house
like,
cleaning,
I
little
was trying
little
to
prep
have more
work.
friends and talk to people.
Right. Part of the reason we're doing the show is because we don't have a lot of friends.
You have way more than I do. Like you go to parties.
No, but it's like they're not like, I'm not hanging out, they're class friends.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, I literally was invited to 0 parties on New Year's.
I wasn't invited to
Yes,
any
you
parties.
were.
No.
Yeah, you were.
No, I wasn't. You could.
Okay, so we're gonna hear, I didn't know that they're gonna be talking about this in the show, but they're gonna hear a lot about how they are isolated. Okay, Kyle Dunnigan is isolated, and that's not the cool solitary kind of thing where you enjoy it. This is the painful one that buckles your knees. So he said several times how there's he's not hanging out with anyone. He's on the lonely side. Okay, so he's introducing old Kitty here, but Kitty's just concerned about getting her coverage for her acting reel. So, but she might be able to help out, and because she's not really concerned about Kyle so much, but do we all need to be? Okay, so she's going to do the show. Here we are.
My party phone.
Max, you check her party phone?
Yeah, I'm on it.
But I go in there and I'm like, because I don't talk to strangers. It's very important. We're social creatures. So I just went up to someone. I go, hey, that looks hard.
That's what you said?
Yeah. And it's not good. Let's just start. Because it seemed like a hard thing. I go, that looks hard. And she was pretty responsive. She was like, yeah, da, da. And I was like, oh, this is easy, right? I'm like, I've been not talking to people. People are nice, normal. Then I'm getting cocky. Now I'm talking to too many people, I think. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm going on the gym and now I'm becoming this guy who's like not bothering people.
Right.
I'm hitting and quitting. You see what I'm saying? And I'm going, I got momentum now, but I can't really stop it. I feel it's like a runaway. I'm very hermited, but now once I start, I'm talking to everybody. So I get this.
Put your hands down, Kitty. God,
the guy falls up.
What are you
I
doing?
Go, yeah, that looks hard. That's my only line. I'm confident with that line now. And he just kind of looked at me and like walked away. I think he thought I insulted him. So then I walked home. Anyway, climbing. It's going good.
Wait, that's great. I love it. Really is socializing. You get momentum,
Yes.
right? Like that's when you're on a roll. If you go to a party or something, you wake up the next day, you're like, let's go to another party.
It almost was like I was scared to stop. I didn't want to get back to my old shell.
Yeah.
All right, so again, they're just trying to warm up into it. This is me my first hour. Okay, I need a 1 hour intro just to get warmed up. So they're just kind of talking dish or whatever it is. But it's real stuff, okay? So, yeah. Oh, Kyle, just need to, do your creative work and, yeah. But I mean, I believe he's out in LA too, right? I mean, so, yeah, maybe it's isolating out there too.
Dream about. I said, don't tell me until the podcast.
Okay, yeah.
It was about rock climbing.
I had a dream about Kyle forcing me to climb. And so basically in the dream, first we're walking up this like steep sand dune. And like I don't know where we are, but it's like a desert aesthetic. Like it could have been in Utah or something. And it was like, not that there's a desert in Utah, you know what I'm saying? And we were like going up and it was getting very steep and the sand was just like coming like, and you were like, let's keep going. And I was like, no, we're going to slide down. It was very like metaphoric, maybe for
the podcast.
Yeah. And then you were like, well, okay. And then somehow we went to another mountain that was like actually a free solo, like
worse.
Yeah.
So maybe you feel like I forced you to do this.
No.
And then I made it even harder and crazier.
No, it wasn't. I didn't know how to interpret it because then we go to this other mountain and I was like, we're not going to do this. I was like, we're not, I'm not free soloing this mountain.
Okay. Because remember, she was saying, there's no show. There's no show. And he was saying, this is our, like, welcome to our show. We are, and this is during like 0.1 of the set reveal. And he kept being inclusive, saying, we are really excited to show our show. And she's like, it's no show. There's no show. So now she's having a stress dream the day before the first episode, or the night before the first episode, about how she's scaling mountains. One of them was a sand, so no firm ground, and see, she's a literal kitty. Okay, she needs everything to be very, literal and all, and she can't have any, ambiguity or, well, not that, but I mean, there's definitely a lot with Kyle there, but let Kyle be. But I'm trying to not say nuance, okay? Oh, Rogan ruined the whole N word. But she can't live in the abstraction, so probably not as creative as Kyle. So he can roll with all that. He can kind of flow with that. And John's saying that he might be having a little assistance with his frame, with his build. I mean, he's looking in shape. I mean, now I think people like Theo Vaughn have that kind of HGH face and nose, little creatine swell. But I mean, and you can get ripped for from rock climbing. I mean, that's some strong upper body. But old Kyle here, it's a little too abstract for Kitty. So she's having stress dreams about scaling sand mountains, or mountains made of sand, and then another mountain. And she doesn't know what it means. She can't figure it out. Because it's too abstract. Okay, she doesn't live in that kind of abstract world. And well, Kyle here is just wanting to play. He's just wanting to dress up, play characters, but let's see what she's got to say.
You were like,
let me back it up
you
here.
were like, okay, like fair. Go to this other
harder.
And then you were like, well, okay. Very like metaphoric, maybe for
the podcast.
Yeah. And then you were like, well, okay. And then somehow we went to another mountain that was like actually a free solo. Like
worse?
Yeah.
So maybe you feel like I forced you to do this.
No.
And then I made it even harder and crazier.
No, it wasn't. I didn't know how to interpret it, because then we go to this other mountain and I was like, we're not going to do this. I was like, I'm not free soloing this mountain.
See, and she's not going to do the show.
I think you were like, okay, like fair.
So Kyle's like, oh, she doesn't want to do the show. Yes, Kyle, that's what we've been trying to say. Okay. She's not, she needs to get paid. Okay. She's already refused to do rehearsals. Okay. She can't drive all the way across town just for a dress rehearsal. Now, again, that's why he's got to do this like on his own. But he does. I mean, he does the impressions and all that, but she's only concerned about the money. Now, I hope not, but there is definitely a sense. I mean, I think that is partly what it is. But and it's a shame too, because I mean, this could be really cool, and she's trying to she's trying to exclude herself from it. So
I think it was a metaphor for me sort of being like, this is what we're going to do.
This is a bit of a leap.
How are you so wrong?
Just go and chat into a podcast. It is a bit. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
There's social. That makes people happier. I think that's a way to get out of depression stuff. I don't have depression. I have to say that, where clinically I'm not depressed, but there's situational stuff. And another thing, I was helping other people is a thing. So on my way back from climbing, there was like a soup kitchen thing. And I go, I should do that. Yeah. Right? Which I haven't done it yet, but I think the fact that I was like, I should do that counts. No, listen, kind of counts. Like, a lot of people just walk by that.
Not you.
But I was like, I thought about maybe doing it.
See, that's the momentum. Big. What's this? It's like you soup, hand out
it's
food.
Soup, it's chips. It's soup. It's food. One time
Does Kitty really not get it? I don't know.
Did sponsor?
You got to convince me on Kitty.
Her name was Esther de Los Angeles.
I'm sorry, Esther. That's it.
$25 a month. Now think about this. every month, like it's nothing. I'm sending 25. What a hero. So like every 4 months, they'd send me like a picture of Esther, and she'd be in front of a brick wall, and I'd say in the back, Esther enjoys sewing and doing math, whatever, right? So I'm like, oh, cool, trash. And this is going on for like 2 years. Esther got fat. This is my starving child.
Oh.
She got big. And I'm like, no, I got into this to save her life. Now I'm killing her with type 2 diabetes, or like,
Right.
She's buying whatever, the $25 is being spent on all carbs. You can get behind me on that.
Right. It's like all processed food, perhaps.
Not good.
Okay, I'm gonna skip ahead here. Oh man. Oh, Kyle. I'm not gonna do that to you. Trying to get a sense of. I mean, I guess they're just trying to figure it out as they go as well. Yeah.
He said that you said you were sponsoring an old woman, and I said no, she's not. Is that true?
Yeah.
What?
I've adopted an older woman. How does he know that?
He said you told her. Why? You never told me that. What is that? What do you mean?
Okay, so now they already have a phone guest on their first episode. They have a phone guest, his mother, and yeah. What you doing calling your mother, Kyle? Don't you got a show to do? Now he's gonna, looks like a little bit of AI. Let's see if we can skip here. We're just checking out, how people are doing their little creative endeavors. Now, again, I was really liking the bit of a chaos that was happening before the show became episode 1. Oh yeah, and she was a reoccurring. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sorry, Kyle. I might have been a little too hard on you there. That might be just something you do. But we're calling your mother in the middle of your show. Let's see where we're at here.
Basically, we took some scenes from famous movies. You and Kitty will read them, and then maybe the audience can guess what the movie was.
I love that. All right, here we go. Should we just start? Here we go. So let me get this straight. You think men and women can be friends if they just ignore everything complicated?
I think they can be friends if they're adults about it.
Right. Because adults are famously great at ignoring awkward feelings.
You assume everything has to turn into a problem.
No, I assume it already is a problem. People just pretend it isn't.
Okay, so now they're doing scene work. Oh, Harry Mancelli. Okay.
Maybe you like pretending things are impossible. It saves you from trying.
Or maybe you like believing things will work out if you plan them enough. I'm a very bad reader.
Planning is how things don't fall apart.
Sometimes they fall apart anyway. Silence. Not uncomfortable. I wasn't supposed to read that. Go ahead.
Okay. So what are we doing then?
Having coffee, talking, not ruining it.
Okay, but if we ruin it, I'm not.
Nice, Jean
If we
Vier.
ruin it,
Yeah,
I'm blaming you.
Fair.
called it.
That's a terrible movie. What is that movie?
It was supposed to be from When Harry Met Sally.
Woo!
That's the beginning. That's what I thought, but that's not.
Yeah.
I know that movie. That's not
Nice.
from When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah, that's not really it.
That's a terrible.
Well, it was hard to find the actual scene, so I just put into ChatGPT to just recreate a scene from Harry Met Sally, and I thought it was pretty close.
Wow.
That's great. So it's
Okay.
close
So, all right.
to the movie. I guess that's okay.
That's
That could be the game that did say
so that's almost When Harry Met Sally.
Max, why didn't you get a scene from the movie? You couldn't find it?
Yeah, they have it. I could find like the full. I could find the full scripts online,
But it
but
was too much work, and so you chat GPT'd it.
yeah, I thought ChatGPT,
It'd
it
be
has
easier
access to
for you,
all
it'd
of
be
it. I
easier
thought it would
for
be like a
you.
shortcut. Yeah.
So just to type it in, then you get that, and then you didn't have to look anymore.
Yeah, kind of.
How old are you?
31.
Yeah.
Yeah.
31.
Okay, so that's what that's
Although,
what we're doing.
I think I would have guessed when Harry. I mean, I would. It seemed like it. So, all right, we have one more.
Yeah.
This is going to be from chat.
Okay. Well, Kyle. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of liked it when they weren't doing a show. um, let's take it to one more spot, and then we'll see what else we got.
Like, I need more details, but he might be a little bit manic.
That's what I was thinking.
That was your
too.
gut feeling? Because losing a job can be a serious break in, psyche. I've lost
Sure.
my job before. It's a very
I'm about
odd.
to lose another one. Tell you that.
Oh, you want to try the next one? Okay. Yeah, that was a good one. Let's see.
ChatGPT too.
Here, I'll make sure I don't spoil it here.
Then you get that, and then you didn't have to look anymore.
Yeah, kind of.
How old are you?
31.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I would have guessed when Harry. I mean, I would.
Well,
ChatGPT too.
Yeah.
The classic, if women and men can be friends. I knew that was like When Harry Met Sally. It just wasn't. It just really wasn't the
They
script.
kind of got it backwards, where it was Sally was the one saying men and women couldn't be friends. So it kind of didn't do any of it that well.
It was cool.
Yeah.
They took the funny out of it.
Oh yeah,
really.
no problem,
Yeah.
John.
I
And
love-
Reiner directed that film.
you were able to guess it,
R.I.P.
and it was already
That was my favorite.
twisted
movies.
up with the AI.
Really?
I read that pretty well for me. I was actually. I mean,
Time
I know it
traveler.
wasn't emotionally well, but I once got fired because of a table read. Now this was a NBC network show where it's very difficult. I didn't get many of them, it was like a hit show. It's called Happy Family. Ever seen that show?
Heard
A
of
while
it.
ago. And they go right before the table read. That's all like the executives sit around a table, and you go around, and everyone laughs really hard because the writers are there who wrote it, and just everything kills. So they're going around, everyone ha 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 gets to me. Right before they go, oh, we got new lines for you. And in my head, I just went white, like, no, don't give me new lines. So almost all my lines were new. So but laugh, 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 get to me. I go, we should probably take it to the vet. And there's like dead silence. Then like laugh, laugh, laugh. It comes back around. And then it's like dead silence. So I left. I'm like, I'm getting fired. And then the next day I went to work, and the casting director stopped me before I got into the studio, and she said, "You don't have to come in."
Oh.
And then she goes, "But you get to go to Iraq next week, right?" Because I was going to Iraq. But it's like
comedy?
funny. Yeah, I was going. But she thought she was trying to make me feel better. But it was funny. She said, "You're going to Iraq, so that's good."
Right.
And I was like, yeah, that would be cool to go to Iraq instead of make a lot of money and be on television. I get to
Right.
go to Iraq.
Let me go to the Middle East.
I almost died there, by the way.
What?
We'll save that
Really?
for another day.
Okay, save the Kyle lore.
One more
Okay.
thing about my reading. Am I talking too much?
This is the Kyle Dunnigan show. And you're Kyle Dunnigan.
See. Oh, kitty. That's right. It's his show. But she wants to take charge. She's been wanting to take charge ever since she got there. And he does need some help. I mean, he would otherwise be all over the place. So maybe Kitty's good for him.
This is my anxiety puppet when I get insecure.
Yeah, Kyle's dyslexic.
Oh God, I just feel like I'm talking too much. Oh my God, I shouldn't be here. Oh God. Okay, thank you. That makes me feel better. My therapist wants me to do that.
It's good.
You know, when I was
good for you.
younger, if you couldn't read well, you were just dumb. There was no reading disability. You just were the dumb kid. So I was in the dumb class with like full-on mentally retarded people. I was like, okay, I guess this is my brain. And my parents,
He was in the GATE program.
my dad's very smart, and during the summer they'd spend all this money in reading classes for me, but they didn't go. It was never like, oh, there's some other problem. It just was speed reading stuff. So I go to these nuns one summer because there was this machine that teaches you how to read fast, and they were like, there's a machine, and I got really excited, and we had to drive like an hour and a half to get to this nunnery. It's nuns.
The convent.
Yes, and very sweet nun, and then this machine, it would project onto a wall a sentence, and it would go across, and then
All
the
right,
next
I'm
sentence.
gonna skip through a little bit here. So
Maybe 5
it's
minutes.
good stuff. but-
I saw her faith in God like fall out of her face, and I got fired from an
An
NBC
hour
show.
and-
So I like how they do the, you know, the graphics in the back and all that. Just
There was no improvement at all, and I got fired from an
An
NBC
hour
show.
and a half to the nunnery.
That's 3 hours. Like,
All
and
the
God bless
time.
my parents. They would drive me, and then I was like, for this
Oh,
machine.
and you're still
That wasn't my problem. Like, that
dyslexic.
wasn't my problem. Like, they thought like he's
No.
I need to practice more.
No, it
You
wasn't a comprehension issue.
You know what I do now, which does help.
all right.
I do every day about my reading issues. Want to do the next one?
That's why I send you voice memos. Because
I
I,
do that
feel like
too a
it's like a
lot.
lighter cognitive load.
That's sweet. That is very thoughtful of you.
Thank you.
All right, Max, does this movie need any setting up, or should we just go?
No, I think
right in?
people will.
Old Kyle's a stream of conscious kind of guy. You know, he's not, you know, all those symbols mess him up. So, but now Kitty, she wants to be all, you know, boss lady. She wants to run an office, and Kyle just wants to come up with characters.
People figure out what this one is.
Okay, all right, here we are.
You don't have to be, what's the tone? Oh, softly measured.
Yeah.
You don't have to be afraid here. No one will hurt you in this place.
Fear doesn't disappear because someone says it should.
You've seen these things no one should. You've seen things no one should. I know words don't fix that. Pause.
Why are you helping us?
Because I can. And because doing nothing would be worse. You're safe here. Steps back in here a bit. You're safe here. I promise that much. Kitty studies him, still cautious.
Then don't make promises you won't keep.
I won't. They stand in silence, the weight of the moment between them. Intense
Whoa.
scene.
Wow.
I have a guess. Kitty, do you have a guess?
Yeah, my guess is really embarrassing though.
Ashlyn, do you have a guess? Nothing.
Okay, my guess was Avatar. Like that was, for some reason, that was my gut feeling.
I was feeling like some kind of 007 movie, like one of those. There's action.
Like
now
like
it's-
7 or
You know,
something.
a guy gets a girl in danger always in those movies.
It's like, you're safe here.
All right, drum roll, Max. What was the movie?
It was Schindler's List.
Oh,
Great.
Wow.
Great film.
That was humbling.
I thought that
was
would be
humbling.
fun for everybody.
Yeah, that's really fun.
That was
the
good.
Holocaust movie.
All right, time for the sexy weather with Annie.
All right. What a show we have. First episode right out of the gate. A lot of fun. Schindler's
It's a
List,
heater.
everything.
It's a
Okay. Well, there you have it. Old episode 1. You gotta do about a 45-minute episode, and probably do a little bit. Yeah, because it doesn't seem like he's going to be doing any impersonations here. Man, I thought for sure he was going to be doing all of his, like Nancy Pelosi, and, they could put all of his characters, or any one of his characters, into any scenario and have him do something, and Kitty just ain't having it. So I said from episode 1, she is killing Kyle's creativity, but maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe he needs something like this. A straight man to, a point of departure, but yeah. Well, old Kyle Dunnigan, episode 1. Thank you, Kyle, for letting us take a look at your show and taking us along for the ride. I recommend everyone going to see it. I didn't think I gave it a like.
And they go right before the Taylor.
Give it. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. Make sure you give it a like and help promote it. And thank you, Kyle. All right, now I like a little bit of Bill Maher. I like that. He's really the only one that does smug well, and he's pushing back against a lot of the left wing, and but he's also not buying into the right wing propaganda, and he even got hit in the Golden Globes. Okay, so they're calling him out because he wasn't supporting the anti-ICE, and Wanda Sykes, that old crackly lady. Good God, Wanda, whatever your name is, you are odd looking, and your voice is weird. Okay? How have you ever been part of visual entertainment, let alone auditory? You're not funny. And you trying to check Bill Maher at the Golden Globes because he's not part of your little social club, only puts a little target on you. Okay, and I mean all magnifying glass, okay? Not doing any harm to people. Okay, but Wanda called him out while she's on stage and said something along the lines, "You're doing too much." You know, uh, you know, we don't need you. You know, slow down. We don't need so much of Bill Maher. And when has anyone asked for anything that she does? Okay, you get to be on the old Curb Your Enthusiasm or whatever. Were you even on that? Okay. Were you Jackie Brown? Were you part of Jackie Brown on Quentin Tarantino's movie? I don't know. Okay. And I don't care. So maybe you're just projecting. Maybe you're the one who feels that people said that they've had enough of you, and then you're just trying to put that all on Bill Maher. Okay. So why don't you go sit in your little corner, you demon, and let the funny people do their thing. Now, I don't find that everything that Bill Maher does is cool or anything, and I'm sure his way of life is nothing that I want to be part of. But how dare her try to check Bill Maher and for the supposed reasons of not being woke or just supporting a political movement. So it's not even really about woke, okay, but it had to do with something very specific, which was the ICE thing. So here you are, Bill Maher now. This might be his interview just after the Golden Globes. Well, maybe they filmed this prior and then they just released this. And it would make sense that he would be on it because it's right around Golden Globe time. But maybe this is after and they'll discuss it. But kind of a pop shot that old Wanda Sykes took, whatever her last name is. But let's take a look at old Bill Maher.
Well, in this month's Club Random Classics, we revisit a conversation with my good friend, Seth MacFarlane. I love him. The brilliant mind behind some of your favorite cartoons. He's also a very, very big front of the camera star. We swap on-set stories, singing flubs, and why animation lets creators get away with murder, then dig into the bigger stuff. AI.
Is he doing an AI script? Is he doing an AI summary? I wish I had my AI summaries. I lost all my AI. I had AI summaries attached to my streams, and after a while they just said there's just not enough interest in your content for an AI bot to summarize what it is that you do. But apparently it's still experimental, so I guess they kind of pick and choose occasionally. So his AI summary, you pull it up and it says, different things you can ask here. And I'll do a summary of the video. And then within that, there'll be questions related to the summary. But it sounds like he's reading his own AI summary. And how do I know? Because the first few live streams I had my ChatGPT read out a version of the AI summary that I had it formulate as an intro script, and then when I found out that these AI summaries really only pull from the first hour, then what it started doing was just pulling from its own content. So it was then summarizing, the AI summarizing itself, and that gets a little wonky, okay? And I feel like that's just what's going to happen with AI. AI is going to create a bunch of content, and it's going to start pulling from its own content that it's created, but it's creating, already, different, or like not full versions of it, of of what it's trying to describe. And so the whole, a copy of a copy of a copy thing kind of takes it into effect. And so soon there won't be any human, like right now it's pulling from content made by humans still, okay? But that will change very shortly, and it will only, the content made by AI will far surpass anything that we've put out there in the internet, and so it will be pulling from that. So these are the last days, folks, and it looks like they did their summary here up to 30 minutes. Okay, so 35 minutes is how far they go with old Bill Maher. They couldn't handle more than 30. At least I got an hour. Oh, well, it's probably because those those old 6-hour stretches, those early days. Well, look at this. It says, didn't he just say this? Bill Maher revisits a past conversation with Seth MacFarlane in his Club Random Classic episode, covering a wide range of topics from their careers to the current societal issues. Now,
In brilliant Minds with my good friend, Club Random Classic. Well, in this month's Club Random Classics, we revisit a conversation with my good friend, Seth MacFarlane. I love him. The brilliant mind behind some of your favorite.
oh, this is a class. Oh, he's doing classics. That's right. Jean says, it's fine for video summaries or scripts, but never for voices. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I would tread lightly on the script part though too. Not sure what I think about the script. But so I apologize. This is a rerun, okay, that he calls classics. So he's re-airing one of his episodes. They did that with Nikki Glazier just a few days ago, maybe a week ago, and people were all up in arms thinking that it was a new one, and had to be reminded that it's a classic. But he didn't say classic here. Oh, but in the description, so you have to click on it in order to then figure out if it's a classic. Because I went into that thinking that was just a full Seth MacFarlane interview, a new one. But he doesn't reveal it until right at the beginning here when he's talking about it, or in the description, and I don't think you can get to the description of a video unless you click on it. So a little sneaky stuff there, but in the old YouTube world, let you in a little bit behind the curtain. A little, you know, a little shop talk here. But all YouTube here is making it a bit more difficult for creators, with them changing the thumbnail sizes on the home pages, where before they would have, maybe 12 on a page, and now it's dwindling down to maybe 4. They made the thumbnails really big on the screen, and they're adding a bunch of shorts to the home pages. And so anyone with long form content or videos, basically people who are not doing shorts, they're not getting pushed as much as they were this time last year. So this is a relatively new thing that started back in September and of 2025, and it had to do with the algorithm, and also how they changed the home screen, the layout, and everything. So it's all about that real estate, apparently, the old real estate on that screen, and so it's a little bit more difficult to get get your page discovered and even shown to your own subscribers. So mine's only going out to a small percentage of my small but very strong numbers. Okay, and again, I'll say this every stream just to let you guys know how appreciative I am that the watch hours are great. So thank you for the long haul and going along on this ride. Okay, no destination. Okay, we are just in discovery mode, and so I really appreciate that, and that kind of stuff really helps promote new channels. So thank you so much for that. But Bill Maher got us. Okay, Bill Maher got us, and he got me with all Nikki Glazier too. Okay, so I'm not liking this whole classic thing. Okay, you can, I suppose they're your own shows, and you want to do, put yourself in syndication by creating a classic thing, then I suppose that's up to you. But I don't know. Is it worth an extra 15 to 20,000 views to really irritate your audience? I don't know. Well, a bit of a bummer. Okay, so I thought it was good. What's his recent one? Oh, you had one 5 hours ago. Oh, that's a short, or that's a clip. Okay. Oh, is he the one who has his clips along with his full episodes? Oh, you do. Oh man. Okay, so his latest one. Okay, and he had. Oh, that's right. So he had Tim Allen. Oh, okay. So he had Tim Allen. We're going to get to that the other day, and then This actor. The guy who, I mean, I'm not even going to say it, but they are getting stranger and stranger looking. I'm sure he's a fine actor. Sorry, I'm having to go through all of these clips along with his actual episode. All right, let's take a look at Tim Mellon here.
Hey, folks, while you're remodeling your backyard to make it more...
Let's fast forward this here.
It's family stuff, money worries. ABC, and we've been at CBS. I've been in the same, like parking space, phone number since 1996.
Yeah. Okay.
Through two different networks.
We're old now. So why do you got to go there?
I know, but you still do the road. I quit last year. I'd done it for 42 years, and I got off this year. This 25, I did not do any dates.
Didn't we pass each other at one?
I took your plane 1,000 times.
Right, and then, but at one of those, I saw you in the casino, and you walked by, and I ignored me. So I said, maybe.
I didn't.
You said you just walked by.
Well, I did. If I did,
It was you weren't doing the MGM, or what was I doing?
I was doing the Mirage for years.
Yeah, the comedy, whatever they called it.
No, not the comedy. No, I played the. No, I wasn't doing like the comedy cavalcade.
No, what was it called? The Legends.
I know
Legends of Comedy.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. We all did that for a while. And that was a great room. And then
it's a great room.
I like that room.
Leno did it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. There was like, remember the car? They had us like on.
Yeah. Nice. Mine was like from the 30s. I look like a car salesman. It was. My deal was I started at.
Tim, you are a car salesman.
Yeah. Good night, everybody. What was the one with the guy across the street with the canal, Venetian.
Oh yeah.
And next to the Venetian is the. I don't know. Anyway, I played there for a while, and then
owned by Sheldon Adelson.
Yes. Still alive?
No.
All right, so I always got to figure out, or I always got to find out if their guests, or if his guest will mention his drink, or his little concoction that he puts into his drink. And just about every guest asked, "What is it? What are you putting into your drink? What is that?" Oh, this is just a little bit of artificial sweetener kind of thing.
Or he may be resurrected. I mean, they've got some sort of drug they do.
They've got a lot.
But that was a nice room.
If a man that wealthy dies, they don't have a cure for it. Okay.
Or they killed him because his kids want the money. It could be that.
Well, or because they're just very big supporters of Israel.
The Adelsteins, yeah.
And that's...
Wait, who was he talking about there? Let me take that back real quick here. So, this got serious fast.
They've got some sort of... Still, I played there for a while, and then...
Owned by Sheldon Adelson.
Yes.
Okay.
Still alive?
No.
Or he may be resurrected. I mean, they've got some sort of drug they do.
They've got a lot.
But that was a nice room.
If a man that wealthy dies, they don't have a cure for it. Okay.
Or they killed him because his kids want the money. It could be that.
Well, or because they're just very big supporters of Israel.
The Adelsteins, yeah.
And that's... a controversial thing. I don't think it should be, but they are. But we won't get into that.
We could get into that because I took out of nowhere, my family took my family on one of the trips I've taken on my tail. Every year we do something really peculiar. RV trip, which I don't know, my wife was saying, she goes, I really always wanted to take an RV. I says, yeah, I don't know about that. We got halfway into it. I go, who dumps this thing? When they all use the facilities.
Right.
That's when women act really dumb. They go, oh, you're so strong, you do it. No, honey, it's not that it takes no strength. It just empty the valve that all the poop comes out of.
I've never thought about that. No, really. So, I'd love to know what do you have to do? I know when you're on a boat, I remember being on a boat, somebody's boat at Cannes, and a truck does pull up.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Early on, the boats dump the poop in the water. If they go out far enough, they can do it. They don't do that anymore. At least they say they do.
I hope so.
But in an RV, there's a holding tank, and there's gray water, which is after washing dishes, and black water, they call it. And my wife and I said, it's just simple. It's a valve. You got to undo the valve, put it in a big hole in the ground, and pump, open a valve.
Where is this hole in the ground?
At the RV parks, they have a big hole in the ground.
Oh, they do?
Uh-huh.
Oh, so you got to,
but anyways,
to get rid of the shit, you have to park at the park.
Yes. And there's not, in my rich friends that want to do it, they go, well, I'll just get somebody to do it. And I go, oddly enough, there is nobody at an RV park that will dump your shit for you. They just won't. It's just.
And you don't want to, and you don't have to bring them on the trip with you. You don't want to do that, right?
Bring the guy on, or as I say, just don't take a shit. Tell my wife, just hold it. We'll hold it for 2 weeks.
But that's another thing. I've certainly talked to enough rock stars who talk about the tour bus.
Yes.
Okay, and Bill loves talking about rock stars. He wants the rock star life. He worships the rock star. If that is apex living according to Bill Maher. Rock star. You're on the road, you drink, you do drugs, you do your art, you're with women, and just the rock star life. I'm gonna let this play, and I gotta adjust some tech stuff real quick here.
And the rules on the tour bus are
don't use it.
Which I find
the holding tank is this size.
Right.
It's there for looks only. Take a crap at the rest stops.
I know that's what they say, and I'm sure they do. I find that highly impractical.
It is impractical. They just don't think about it.
He's
I
insistent.
can only put so much in there. It's kind of, once you're parked, then you can dump the stuff.
I mean, one reason I quit
Look what
going
we're
out-
talking about.
One reason
What the fuck are we
and I'm
talking
not done
about?
talking about it here. One reason I quit.
I just started.
I mean,
Because excrement is the end of everything.
I put a good deal of excrement in your plane because one reason I really don't want to go on the road anymore
Oh, God.
is because
That's what the problem was.
well, I mean, look, you and I are spoiled. When we, for most of this century, at least and I'm sure you, because it's your plane, I couldn't have even gotten to these gigs
No.
if it wasn't a private plane because I had to leave. I do my show Friday night. Okay, I couldn't. I have to go to do a Saturday night show Saturday. You can't get to Boise, which I know you're going to.
Boise, yeah,
not Boise.
Don't say it like that.
Don't ever fucking say it like that.
The other one is Waukegan, Illinois. I do some. It's a best club, best state, great town. There's no place to get there. You have to fly
Of course not.
to Chicago and then take it to it.
And the airlines are completely unreliable. We've missed half our gigs.
Yeah, so
all
poop.
right, so that's our justification. Why
I can't even get into it because for a long time
So-
I thought it was. I don't even like to say it because I was one day when I worked home improvement. I could do pretty much anything, but didn't know it because I just as a comedian that got a lucky break, got that show, really to get on Carson. That's the only reason I wanted to do anything was to get on Carson. I wanted to be a comic on Carson, which is a short, horribly non-funny joke. Incarcerated for many years, and when I was in there, I said I wanted to get on the Tonight Show.
Not many years.
3.
Well,
Well,
not really many.
okay. It's a bus stop.
Okay.
anyways.
I'm not saying I could do it.
No, I'm telling you, you couldn't. they I want to get on the Tonight Show, so I
Okay, so again, that's why I love Bill Maher at times, because he just told Tim Allen that 3 years is not not a long time. Okay, so Tim Allen did 3 years in prison, or maybe county jail. What was it for again? It was for maybe drugs or gambling or something like that. And Bill Maher is he just anyone gets a little bit cooler than him, he makes sure that he keeps you just below him.
kept coming out here, but I'm a road comic. You know, that's what I did. You started making money. An old buddy of mine that I now know, Seeger, once told me, once you start putting butts in the seats, you own it.
Bob Seger?
Yeah. So he, a Detroit native, and he used to see me
right.
in Detroit. And
Yeah.
he'd said, you start going back, do morning radio, and for very tough on me because I'm a late night guy. And I said, once you start going back to the punchline, the whole series of punchlines were in the South. I started filling it up. But I
Punchline Comedy Club
Yes.
you're talking
And
about.
I come out here to see Jim McCauley to audition for the Tonight Show, and I'm got a guy that does an hour, and he goes, I need to see 5 clean minutes. I said, I got it. So I do at the Ice House or the Improv, and he'd go do clean minutes, and then I think he's there, and he's not. Then I do my regular act, and I talk about my nuts or whatever I'm talking about, and then he'd see me later go, you can't do, Johnny, you can't do scrotum jokes. I go, the first 5 was for you. And it never worked. He finally just told me, this isn't going to work. Can't do it. I can't. I said, geez, Macaulay, I'm. Everybody knew I was hopping.
So wait, you got Home Improvement before you did the Tonight Show? Because that is the opposite of what usually the template is they see you on the Tonight Show.
Exactly. Then you get it.
Right, because they saw Roseanne and they said, oh my God, her stand-up is a show. You know, they saw
it was all freaking backwards.
Oh, that's
I got
weird.
the stupid at the time because I focused once I got incarcerated. I said I don't want to ever do this again. So I want to focus on what I want, not what I don't want. Aim for what you want, and just avoid what you don't want. That's a racing trick.
What's worse, prison or a sitcom? No, I'm kidding.
Prison or living in California under Gavin Newsom. I think prison because at least you know what you get on Saturdays. You know, a pretty good meal. But anyway, the guy. So I.
Okay, so this is why, Tim Allen doesn't work much in Hollywood, okay? Because he'll just call it out like that, and old Bill Maher's got to sit with that, okay? Because not too many people just kind of call it out like that on the right side, okay? Okay, of course, Democrats love talking all that. And that's why Bill Maher's been pushing against it, because there's just been so much, self-grandizing and all the talk about it. No, they're all doing their thing, but Tim Allen just throwing it up like that, and he's like, how am I going to accept this? So he went full, full Oriental looking. He's looking like a little Chinese professor, like the professor or the high school teacher that Kurt Metzger is interviewing, thinking that he's a professor. Okay, he's a high school teacher. Kurt Metzger, you got a high school teacher on your show. Um, but he's got to figure out what he's gonna do with that. So, are you gonna agree with him? Because you kind of do. But he is doing that old Tim Allen thing. Everyone just rolls their eyes at, So you don't really kind of shock Bill Maher like that. So he's a little, his cognitive dissonance bell has been rung. And now Whitney Cummings is saying that word all the time because of Kurt Metzger.
I did this whole thing, and I did a Showtime special, Men Are Pigs, and that was when No Time is like Netflix. It was huge for them. Came out here, I did the 5 o'clock funnies.
Tim's a talker.
Remember that? Gino Michelini.
Very much, I remember it.
And I got, instead of 50 calls, I got like 8,000 calls. Who was that guy grunting talking about lawnmowers? Because it was really weird. So I started hooking up here. Then Disney wanted to have me do Turner and Hooch. I said, well, they already do it. Hanks is doing that.
Right.
Well, how about Dead Poet Society? It's Robin Williams. They wanted me to do a sitcom based on that. So,
Whoa.
Greatest day in my life, I walked away from Jeffrey Katzenberg, who I adore, great guy. And I said, I walked out of the room and says, well, thanks. And he goes, the whole room was just stunned. We're offering you a deal at Disney. I mean, a holding deal or whatever they think it was. They had no idea what kind of money I was making on the road. So they were offering me like a week. They didn't know that. So he calls me back in Detroit and he goes, did you just fly back there? And I go, yeah, I got to go through the South again. He goes, do you know we offered you? And I go, yeah, again, it was really a good idea, but I don't. And I'm not interested. He says, nobody says no to me. I've never had anybody say no.
Yeah.
He says, what would you want to do? I said, look, I like this old house. I think that's a funny show. If I could do a show where it's I want to break things instead of fix things, blah, blah, blah. They do the show, get the thing. I'm a big star. Carson, people call me. Macaulay goes, he'd like to have you on the show. I said, well, I want to do the damn show as a TV guy. He goes, what do you mean? I want to do stand-up. So I'm standing there in the back, and he goes, well, go out and do some stand-up. Okay. You know what to stand and everything? I had no idea what to do. Walked out. Curtain hit me in the back of the head because I didn't walk far enough out to the star. And I bombed. I frickin' bombed.
But that's also backwards because most people, me, it was one of them, was doing stand-up, and I couldn't wait for the day when they said, you're big enough just
Right.
to sit down.
Right.
Which is what I used to do with Leno, but I
Right.
was older and had my own show by then. But I would have died if they would said, you don't have to do
You don't have to
stand-up,
do stand-up.
or you wanted to do
That's
stand-up.
all, because I saw all the guys.
So funny.
All Buddy Hackett, all that era I loved. Johnny sits down after I bombed, and he looks at me in between breaks. He goes, I hope you're funnier than that.
Whoa.
And I told him what the story.
Really?
I told him the story, and he goes, you know what? Come back next week. Do your stand-up fresh. I came back the week after that, killed but I was, already sitting down.
He was good to comics like that.
He really was.
I'm not sure.
I didn't know that about Tim Allen. I didn't know he had such a strong stand-up pedigree. Well, not but background.
Wives would say,
No.
good. What's the word?
Not real connective after the show.
No. I mean, Johnny, as Ed said, Johnny packs a tight suitcase.
Yeah?
And also, for many years, was a drinker.
Yeah.
And a mean one.
Well, who is it?
Me.
Oh, well,
I don't. Do you get mean when you drink?
I've been sober now 30 years, and I know I ever wasn't a mean drinker. I was just
Oh,
a long-range
go.
drinker.
What does that mean?
You don't ever lay it up. 3 in the morning, everybody's going, we should hit the sack. I think I got a couple more hours in
Yeah,
me.
but that's when you're young. You can put
No,
your
that
body-
was 30 years ago.
It's 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, you were.
It was
people-
tough for me to manage. I didn't, as I said, as most guys like me, if a little is good, a lot's got to be better.
Some is good, more is better, too much is just right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the
that-
American motto.
That's the motto.
I feel
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
But I mean, I think kids, if any kids are watching this and they're in their 20s, they have this idea that when you're in your 40s, you're already over the hill because they see mom and dad, and it's like, and no,
Ooh, that is old. That is way over the hill.
you want to be a party animal in your 40s. I promise you, it's easy.
It's easy.
In fact, it's fun because you're a full grown-ass man or woman, I guess, could do it too. But for me, and now you know what life is. You're an adult. You have some money. You know, you can be Frank Sinatra in 1960. It's awesome. But when you're doing it when you're 22 or 25, you don't have any game. You're dumb. You don't have any money. You know, you just don't know what you're doing, and you can't pull it off.
It never. I drank when I was 11 years old. When I was a kid, I watched cowboy movies. I used to love when they. Still don't understand that the cowboys get on the horse and and they're sweating. They go into the saloon. They pour that brown liquor and they. And they get back on the horse. And as a kid, I'm going, that shit must be very refreshing. So I took a big jigger of Jim Beam, and it's like I drank gasoline. I was choking. I thought I was going to die. Any normal people would have said, I'm never going to drink again because that's horrible. I just said, I can get used to that with a little sugar in it. You know, I kept getting, and then I would drink, and it never affected me. All my buddies are vomiting or passing out and getting in trouble with their parents. It never affected me. I would get used to it. It never was enough, never was not enough. It just didn't. I never said no to a drink. And I used to say when I early on when I wanted to see do I have a problem with alcohol? So I took a test, which was very funny. You take a test from John Hopkins, I think it was, to see if you were a problem drinker. And do you ever lie about the number of drinks you had? It depends on what you see by lying. So you are lying. Have you ever not gone to a party because they didn't have any? And I went, oh yeah. There's been a lot of weddings I've gone to, and they said it's beer and wine. I went, I don't like either one, so I'm not going to the wedding.
Right.
So I decided on that. And at the very end, you had these, 50 questions, let's say, and I kind of cheated on some. I gave them some, I thought I 10 out of 50, I admitted. And the bottom says, if you're taking a test to wonder if you have a problem with drinking, you've already answered your question. And I went, fuck, I got tricked by that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So Tim Allen's easily tricked by words. Okay. You trying to see if Bill Maher buys it? But Tim Allen's one of them old timers, the old school comics, and they know how to do a show. So he's been on the whole time, just rattling off. Okay, not no Jeff Dye waiting for people to talk about him. Okay, he's telling stories. He's been through way more than old Jeff Dye, and not once has he said he went mental, that he lost his mind. Okay, now I guarantee you he has lost his mind. Okay, I guarantee you Tim Allen went mental a few times, but you don't talk about that. Okay, you're just different afterwards. So he gets to talk about other things than being a victim. Okay, but liquor, these liquor lush Lenas all sipping on that liquor. Okay, now I don't use that phrase anymore. That was an old catchphrase I used, and once I heard AI read it back to me one day, I said never again, because it sounded like lick. Okay, it's not what it was intended for. It's liquor, like beer, or beer's not liquor, but like all whiskey. So that was an old phrase that I had to say goodbye to. But I'm liking how we're matching Bill Maher's aesthetic here. Because we got the bricks too, okay? And complementary colors. And he's already am I sure? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not trying the wrong one here. So we got the brick as well. And sure, I'm guessing that's the same color. I am. So this is the color I struggle. These purples and blues are the ones I really struggle with my color uh, disease. But it seems like these are pretty close in the same color. So that's some of this new OBS kind of fun life you can have where you for the time being before they copyright strike you, which let's just say they're not going to do it anymore because I don't even say that kind of stuff. You can move yourself around, and I'm not even in that setting here. This is a little bit of OBS fun here. Hey guys, I'm on the show with Bill Maher. Hold on, let's see here. See if I can get just a little bit. Oh. Oh, wrong way. Here we go. Just, oh, well, let me move it over then. I'm gonna lose my spot if I do. Oh man, I'm gonna have a setting night if I keep this up. So yeah, and then I had such a problem with. So then the words on the page said, well, if you're looking at this thinking if you got a problem, you got a problem. And then it got me. And so yeah, just had to put the old bottle down. Okay, but here I am now, 30 years sober, and I'm on the show with you. So thank you very much, Bill Maher, and yeah. So this is a little bit of OBS fun. It's what you get to do when you're new. I'm sure down the road you'll find out that everybody did this at some point or another. But yeah, good. Anyway, just having a little fun here. Okay, let's see if I messed up the whole thing here. There we are. All right, and we're back. Sometimes I just need to take a little break. No, I don't need a break from this. I very much enjoy this, but Want to make sure I keep the thread for you guys. Don't want to lose you down the path. But there is no path. It's the Wu way, right down the center. We are Jeff Dye, middle down the road, kind of stuff. No opinions, like Shane Gillis. Well, see, now I'm so distracted by my overlay. That's why I like this black. It just kind of doesn't take too much away from theirs, but it just matches too nicely. So we'll keep it on for this one. But here, Tim Allen here doing a little therapy session. They all love their little therapy sessions. And got into politics, got into sobriety, got into a little bit of fame. And being on the Johnny Carson show twice in less than a month. And they crushed it his second time. That's pretty big stuff. And then was on one of the top shows. So sprinkle a little respect when you say old Tim Allen's name, apparently. But apparently, just, doesn't line up politically with the industry he's in.
Remember fairly vividly the last time I overdrank, and I was in my 50s. So it wasn't like a long, long time ago. I mean, it was just too old. I was at a party, I think it was awards week when the people think we're always partying out here. We're not. As my friend Jimmy says, every star I know is blown and in bed by 9:30.
That's right.
But there's a couple of weeks around award shows when there are good parties.
Yeah, you bet.
And I was there, and Danny McBride, I love him, but his wife kept bringing over these shots, and the more you have, the more you forget how much you've had. And I mean, I was nuts. I was probably 50.
So Bill Maher here just might make a Tim Allen relapse. I mean, he's drinking in front of him, smoking in front of him, and hitting all the triggers for Tim Allen about the good times with alcohol.
I love him, but his wife kept bringing over these shots, and the more you have, the more you forget how much you've had. And
oh,
I mean,
remembers that.
I was probably 55 or something, and I mean, I came home that night. My poor girlfriend at the time was supposed to meet me at the party. I seem to remember insulting the people she was with, just being drunk and thinking it was funny, and it wasn't. And got home, and they had to carry me from the driveway. I spilled out of the car, and she and my security brother in arms picked me up. I mean, that's way too late in life to do that, and it was the last time I ever did something like that. But it just, and kids, again, the message here: keep partying. Don't think you're done when you're 35.
Get an Uber.
Yeah.
I said that was
well. I wasn't driving for
all the attention I had when I was really struggling with this. How do people manage it? Why are there people like me? And then I've known a bunch of comedians and a bunch of friends that struggle with weight. They do not know how to stop eating. I don't have that affliction.
I don't either.
If I take I have a buddy who says, how do you eat ice cream like that? Sometimes, because I can. After I dinner, if no one's around, I don't do this in front of people. I take a little thing of Haagen-Dazs and I'll take a couple spoonfuls out of the thing. I don't put it in the bowl. I like
You
it.
look like you're wearing the same clothes you did when you were on Politically Incorrect.
Right. Well, as I said, that food isn't my thing.
Right.
He said, if I start eating ice cream, I'd finish the tub. And I go, hey, I don't, I take a couple taste buds. I'm fine with it. Then I put it away. I never knew any, and it was never that way with drinking and drugs. It's not I never knew. There was never enough.
Me neither. But, see, I save my sugar for alcohol. And I don't even have more than a couple of drinks a week. Like, only when I'm here, really, do I have a couple
I
of
wondered
drinks.
what that would be like. All my life, I 2 directors I did movies with that we did one in Venezuela. And he'd go, oh, boy, I'm getting dizzy. And I go, that's the point.
Right.
He'd have a drink and a half and he'd leave it there. And I go, we're just going. We're just starting. He goes, oh, no, I'm real dizzy. And I go, yeah.
Oh, I remember when I used to have a couple of shots before I left the house. Just to warm up for when you got out. And I remember an era where, and again, I wasn't that young. I wasn't in my 50s, but first of all, you would know every night. Of course, I was never married, so they're different,
Yeah.
So you'd know every night where the club was, because it was different every night. Tuesdays it was at Shitty's, and Wednesdays it was Dingleberry's, and whatever. The Enema had a great, 3 floors going on Thursdays. So you would just go to these clubs, whatever the night was.
Just let it play out for a little
it was
bit here.
one of many stops, and each bar you'd go to, probably because you felt there wasn't, enough hot girls in this place, so you'd go to some other place. And you'd have 2 drinks at each of them. So it wasn't hard to rack up.
Yeah.
Okay, so just a little bit of drink talk. That's the comedians. They love to talk about alcohol, sobriety, sex, the road. Yeah. All those all those road warriors. Trying to see if we can see what the next peak is. Is it his ad?
Started with me.
It's such a trivial thing for it to be such a major factor in human history, right?
Okay.
When
now,
you look at it from 30,000.
30,000 feet up.
Yeah.
Now go 30,000 feet up, a little west of that, and look at a different way of looking at it. I look at it simply put, because I said, I am a empathetic person. I do it in comedy. I do it in my business. I've always been this way. I'm a philosophy major. I look at people and I listen. I learn to listen to people. And you learn more by what people say and what the questions they ask than the actual answers.
Right.
What they question. It's like CIA did a big CIA benefit, and that's their whole deal. They don't talk much.
CIA does benefit?
We did they gave me an award, which I didn't know how to say no to it. I even asked my people. I said,
Bill
"Can you
Maher,
say no
don't
to a CIA
interrupt.
benefit?"
You're just about to talk about CIA.
They gave one to Ellison. He was there for the Oracle. I didn't know he was in.
Right.
Oracle is that's how the CIA started. And Larry Ellison
Is that right?
He had a lot to do with the original computer system for that. And the
Computer
CIA,
system.
Yeah.
He didn't start the CIA.
No. He
That
had
was
a lot to do with it. But again, you look at him,
No.
and I don't know what to say it, but I was there because I've done a lot for the veterans, and this was about the people that have died in the CIA.
I've always been supportive of the spy agencies. It's not like something that the woke appreciate. It's cooler to like say, oh, you do your spying and this and that. And yes, have they made mistakes? Yes.
Yes.
But, as George Orwell said famously once, most people sleep comfortably in their bed at night knowing that rough men are willing to do violence. The world is full of bad people, really bad people. I don't mean just like, woke bad here, just like, and we do need people like in the CIA, and they are dedicated people who do it without any, you don't get a plaque, you get the fucking star on the wall without your name.
And
right?
This was a sad night. I was there because of what I've done for the military, and it was a humble to be asked.
Okay, so Kurt Metzger mentions a lot about the comedians that do those, military tours, saying that, well, actually, that might be Control Alt History that talks about how, like those Bob Hope and all these other comedians that, and who was the first MK Ultra patient or something, but they all did, those military tours. So it might be he's talking CIA now, and it's been known that CIA and FBI recruits actors.
And I got to ask CIA top brass. They go, "What is it you want?" Because I said, "Give me."
And you said it the right way there. You said CIA, not the CIA. So yeah, he knows what he was talking about.
Can I ask you some weird stuff? He goes, "What is it, Mr. Allen? What would you like to know?" Like they go from being big, we love Home Improvement or Buzz Lightyear, whatever you do. And I said, "Can I ask you a question?" They go, "Well, what do you want?" And they get real serious. The leader of it.
Well, they can't tell you much.
Well,
Or
it's
they
funny.
shouldn't.
He said, "What do you want to know?" I said, "Well, off the coast of California, 2 Hornets saw some bulbs that went left, right, up, down." He goes,
They're aliens.
"And what do you want to know?"
Totally.
Well, if they were going left, right at a certain speed and then stopped and went the other direction, it can't be an aircraft. He goes, "And your question?" "Well, if it's not an aircraft, it would be a drone of some sort or a helicopter." And he said, "And the question is, did the Hornet pilots know what they were?" He goes, "What did they say?" He goes, "Well, they said they did." This went on and on for 20 minutes. And I realized at the end of it, he goes, "So what do you think?" I said, "I think they possibly were something that we didn't know or that they're covering. But why would they show a picture of it if they're covering?" He goes, "It's a good question." And I go, "What are you saying?" He goes, "You've learned more by your questions than any answer I have." And I went, "You sons of bitches." So you don't. And that night got very tragically sad because we were celebrating at one point 5 children that had lost their parents. And you met these kids, and it was about money that CIA will take care of them.
Whoa. Okay, so now he's talking about kids separated from their family members, orphans, and CIA will take care of them. Is that what he just said? Let's take it back. And again, at times I'll let these play just a little bit just to kind of see where it goes. And for the most part, I'm watching these for the first time, and I like doing that. I like getting a first look on it and kind of get a sense of for what I might think that's involved in it, and I can be wrong. I can be wrong, and but sometimes there is something about the first instinct of things that you will tend to ignore a second or a third time view. And he's now saying all the foundational phrases that these other people talk about, Control Alt History and Kurt Metzger talk about, harvesting children's adrenaline. So or doing other things.
I have. And I went, you sons of bitches. So you don't, and that night got very tragically sad because we were celebrating at one point 5 children that had lost their parents. And you met these kids, and it was about money that CIA will take care of them. And these people, those kids are, it was so emotional for my family that these kids will never know what happened to their parents, never know, all they're told is they will never come home. You don't know where they were, and that's all you're going to hear.
I mean, it makes me think of that bad day in Khost, Afghanistan.
Yes.
When they were after bin Laden.
Yeah.
It's in the great movie they made about getting bin Laden. And they thought they had a lead to him, which was his doctor. And so they brought him onto the base. And this is the CIA running this operation. And of course, the guy gets out of the car, he's got a wooden leg. And what's in the wooden leg is a bomb.
Bomb, right.
And he blew up like 6 people.
Right.
Like all CIA people.
Right.
And, you know, they don't get the name. They get the, they get the star.
As far as I got it, you'd look at all these people. None of these people are armed. They go into areas that are dangerous prior to soldiers.
Oh, yes.
And act like insurance agents or a medical. They come off.
Stop
and they save a lot of lives
Yes.
ultimately because they handle something. No, look.
Okay, Tim Allen's saying some great information here, and Bill Maher is stopping him. Okay, he's saying no. CIA agents don't look like they're military people or anything. They're just looking like normal people. Okay. I got 3 telling me this week.
None of these people are armed. They go into areas that are dangerous prior to soldiers.
Oh, yes.
And act like insurance agents or a medical. They come off.
And they save a lot of lives ultimately because they handle something. No, look, have they made mistakes? Of course.
Yes.
But they handle things in a clandestine way that is way better than a hot war.
Yes.
You know,
they also do stuff that you don't want to know about.
You do not want to know about. You don't. And those are aliens, Tim. No, I'm not.
Listen.
I had the guy on the show recently. There's a movie out now. I wish I could remember his name.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, wait a minute. No, it's
a movie. It has dozens and dozens of credible people from the highest levels of our security apparatus and the military.
And they even have what's his name from Trump's administration, the
Marco
Secretary
Rubio is in it a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, very credible people. And they're basically telling us, look, they don't want to.
Tim's like,
they're in a precarious position. They don't want to scare people. On the other hand, things have changed so much. And my reading of this is, like 40, 50 years ago, we used to hear about the aliens. They landed in the middle of nowhere. They stuck something up your ass. It was always up your ass. But
several times.
But that is...
And they found nothing. They went up my ass. They found absolutely nothing but 2 polyps.
Well, they should come with you on their RV trip. They could just go...
just see it. You don't have to go up there. It's in this little tank.
Bring them in the RV. They'll do it for you. They work cheap, aliens. But, I feel like that was really happening. They were really finding out about humans. It seems to have started right after we exploded nuclear weapons in 1945, which could have alarmed them. I don't know how much they were monitoring us before. It seems like now...
So Bill Maher's doing alien talk right now.
They could just go...
just see it. You don't have to go up there. It's in this little tank.
Bring them in the RV. They'll do it for you. They work cheap, aliens. But, I feel like that was really happening. They were really finding out about humans. It seems to have started right after we exploded nuclear weapons in 1945, which could have alarmed them. I don't know how much they were monitoring us before. It seems like now they kind of want to let us know we're here. As I said to this guy when he was on Real Time about this, I said, it reminds me of the movie where the detective or whoever, the bad guy says, if I wanted you dead, you'd be dead already.
Right.
If they wanted us dead,
We'd be dead.
so they're watching.
Okay.
That's what I feel is the most logical. This is not crazy stuff. This is not Jewish space lasers. This is. Why wouldn't it be? There's nothing unscientific about
Here
it.
I am, CIA. So
Oh, there it is. So Bill Maher right there, you know, he can only go so long without talking. Okay, and Tim Allen, old school, he'll carry the show. But Bill Maher, in case you forgot, it's his show. He's got to remind people, keep their name right next to their head. He sponsors himself. And Bill Maher wants to be part of the conversation. But Tim Allen is an old storyteller. Old Kris Kringle knows how to bap those gums. So while Tim Allen's talking CIA and extraterrestrial and space or spaceships, Bill Maher's saying, "Yeah, I can wrap my head around that. I believe that." So Bill Maher saying that he believes in aliens, and that they've lived among us, and they just, if they wanted to do harm to us, they could. But they're choosing not to. And they came about when old Oppenheimer created that bomb. Now, Jack Parsons was also affiliated with Aleister Crowley, I believe. And the Scientology guy, the one who Tom Cruise worships. So forgot where I was going with the whole Scientology thing, but so he's so Bill Maher is saying that he believes in aliens, and now Tim is trying to get back on track. He was waiting the whole time just to finish his CIA story. Now, with all this CIA talk, I'm thinking that you might have something to do with CIA. I didn't hear Trevor Wallace say two peeps about CIA. Now he's telling an experience, or a scenario he was in, but he had done a lot of comedy, and maybe those military tours, because I mean, weren't they saying that it has something to do with child trafficking? I'm pretty sure that was in a Control Alt History documentary. Something to do with Bob Hope and all those tours, and they would send these MK Ultra patients out there and like go off base and do something between shows. So, but he's gonna get back on track here. So this is like Kyle Dunnigan opening up to Kitty, saying, you know, I have no one to hang out with. I'm lonely. And Kitty's just looking at him with that fake, smile. And just wants to get on with the show. That's not a show. According to her.
They're watching.
Okay.
That's what I feel is the most logical. This is not crazy stuff. This is not Jewish space lasers. This is. Why wouldn't it be? There's nothing unscientific about
Here
it.
I am, CIA. So we're basically primitive compared to these people that can do this, monitor us without seeing.
Plainly.
We already have sent.
You especially.
Of course. We've already sent a probe to Mars. We've had probes here. We got a probe that we sent to an asteroid. So
I had one up my ass.
in a justification for me, I said, if there were them, anything that we're seeing is a probe. It's a robot. It's not aliens. They've sent out. If there is something, there's no reason to come here when we can send a drone.
They say they have corpses.
Well, send a drone.
They say they have corpses.
The corpse could be a drone. It's just their version of a drone. It's not. They're not anything like this.
No, this is from like the late 40s.
Yeah, no,
and
but still,
50s.
what if that's their version of a drone? They manufactured a drone. There's a great movie called The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Right.
Of course.
I have the robot in my office. I got Gort. And in the original story, it was very twisty. It didn't come up in the movies that Michael Rennie, who played he came out and talked to us. In the original story, it turned out that Michael Rennie was the drone.
Oh.
The whole civilization was the Gort, and they had to make a human to talk to us. So they manufactured a human to speak to us because the Gort had nothing to say.
I don't think these are drones. I think these are little green men. They are. They're.
Oh, so Tim Allen, and then just kind of scoffed and like laughed as and making fun. He's kind of making fun of Bill Maher there. He was just telling Bill Maher what it is. Okay, he's like, I spoke with CIA. This is what they're saying in so many words, and so what if it's like this? Okay, and so he's laying out now, unless this is a little bit of false information just to get people off the trail, but I think that's a really like that should be absolutely considered as a viable option, that they, he's saying that the entity, the alien itself is a drone. It's like he's calling it a drone, but think of it like a avatar or basically like a robot or something that they created in order to communicate with us. So it's like how I developed OBS syndrome in order to communicate with you guys. But he's kind of laying it out to Bill Maher, like probably the way that CIA considers them.
Is that Michael Rennie, who played he came out and talked to us. In the original story, it turned out that Michael Rennie was the drone.
Oh.
The whole civilization was the Gort, and they had to make a human to talk to us. So they manufactured a human to speak to us because the Gort had nothing to say.
I don't think these are drones. I think these are little green men. They are. They're different from us, but not completely different. Everybody in that book, Communion, all these people who have the same experience and kind of gave the same testimony without knowing what the others were saying. They all talked about somebody who was like
What's the name of the book?
Communion. Whitley Strieber, he wrote
Oh,
this.
yeah.
It was like a long time, like 30 years
Yeah,
ago.
but there's there's a French guy that wrote a book about, shit.
Oh, you're not talking about the Raelians.
No. This is a guy who he called them occurrences, Jacques Vallée, that's his name. And I can't remember the name of the book, but there's a little picture on the front of a kid walking into a light. And I'm on a train in Vancouver doing a gig, took my family with me, went from Vancouver all the way across.
So there he is. He took, you know, he's got to be talking the whole time, and he took old Bill Maher's sale there, and you kind of let him have.
I can't remember
Bill
the
Maher
name
let
of the
him
book,
have it.
but there's
He's
a little
gracious.
picture on the front of a kid walking into a light. And I'm on a train in Vancouver doing a gig, took my family with me, went from Vancouver all the way across Canada, it's just a gorgeous plane trip until you get to Calgary, and then it's like you're in the middle of Nebraska. It's just nothing wrong with Nebraska, but it's just nothing. There's no mountains. And the porter came by, saw that book. I was reading it. And it's all about a scientist that instead of looking at all these crazy people, these farmers that got taken by aliens, he just asked questions. He didn't judge. And he found so many similarities with, no matter who had that, there were certain similarities. So the book was gone. And I asked him, there was a book sitting on this desk here. And he said, I don't know. He comes back 2 hours later, he goes, I'm sorry, I took the book. And I go, well, can I have it back? He goes, what is this book about? And I said, it's about I told him it's about occurrences, they called them. And he goes, why is that picture on the cover? And I go, what is the question about? And he goes, when I was a boy, there was a crackling noise outside, which is always smell of ozone, crackling noise, and things in threes. That's the things that always happen in the book. I went out, my little brother walked into a path of light, came out buck naked, standing there smoldering. I tried to help him on the ground, and then we made some noise. My dad opened up the window, sees my brother out there nude, me, wrestling with him to get him out, told us he thought we were screwing, not, sexually, but he thought we were,
Right.
don't you ever do this, and don't you ever tell anybody what just happened. And
Right.
my brother, never been the same. This exact thing happened to him.
This is not the first story from a person who I trust, who is not a crazy person or a drunk or a weirdo, who has said something similar.
Weird happened.
I just think it's more unlikely that all these things are just a coincidence or a hallucination. And again, there's nothing unscientific about the idea that we are not alone in the universe.
There is a physics problem with it. The thing that I've always wondered about is it.
Okay, I didn't take Tim Allen as a intellectual, a little egghead here. Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm liking where this is going. And I'm not into aliens. Okay, I rather believe in your birth sign than that there's aliens. But there's no, I have no interest in Sasquatch or anything like that. But the way that Tim Allen is discussing this, it seems like he's had a bit of insight. Probably not personal experience, maybe, but like he's been informed. So let's take it back a little bit here. And Bill Maher, he's just, he's accepting it. he's like, yeah.
Think
I mean,
about the idea that we
Yeah,
are
yeah,
not
yeah.
alone in the universe.
He's doing pretty good.
There is a physics problem with it. The thing that I've always wondered about is that in my head I've had a million alien movies in my head that I like. The one that I wrote to myself is that the alien, when he finally talked to me, is that I didn't come from anywhere. I came from here. He said, everything vibrates at a different frequency. I traveled through a vibration and I showed up here. What saves your civilization is Jupiter and Saturn. They send off a real signal. So where I come from, we don't think there's any life here, so we didn't hear. If my people knew that I was here looking at you, you would never live through the day. Because you're a virus. This doesn't work, and this is in my story in my head. Is that this alien shows up, and it's a screw up in his ship, and he crashes, and he keeps changing his shape in a weird way. He says, "Does this work for you people? All these different races.
Right.
Do you all get along? I
Right.
don't think you do.
Right.
Because in my planet, 55,000 years ago, we killed every other race. There's only one race on my planet. I don't say it's the right thing to do, but."
And I remember their motto.
Which one was it, Tim? Okay, is this why Tim's so controversial? Ah, I didn't realize he. That's probably why he hasn't worked in Hollywood too much. Man, this is a zesty interview. Tim Allen, like, and just serious as all get out too. I mean, do you think that's Adderall? But either way, I mean, he's on. Okay. And it's not that. I mean, it's close to that Chevy Chase annoyance, but I think he's anywhere close to being that. But I'm learning all sorts of things about Tim Allen.
One race on my planet. I don't say it's the right thing to do, but.
And I remember their motto, from the river to the sea.
Oh boy.
I have to tell you, David Mamet has been here twice.
Oh.
He lists like his four greatest. Do you know this about him?
Tim is actually upset that he's not able to finish his conversation. Look at this. Because, I mean, Bill Maher is actually not letting him finish.
There's only one race on my planet. I don't say it's the right thing to do, but.
And I remember their motto, from the river to the sea.
Oh boy.
I have to tell you, David Mamet has been here twice.
Oh.
He lists like his four greatest. Do you know this about him?
But I did a movie with him. He's one of the most fun guys I've ever been
I love
around.
him.
Oh, geez.
I mean, we don't agree on everything.
Yeah, I mean, who cares?
Who cares? Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
who cares,
always
yeah.
my theme. But he lists, like in one of his books, he lists like the four greatest movies. And I can't remember what the other three are, but they're like ones Citizen Kane and Lawrence of Arabia. You know what the fourth one is?
2001.
Galaxy Quest.
Oh yeah, cool.
And it is a great movie.
It is.
I mean, it is a really fantastic structure, the script, the acting.
How weird that you bring it up today. I just posted it in my office. I have a picture of me fighting Ceres, which is the creature in that thing. And I remember in the movie, the guy, he's passed away, the guy that inside the suit. It was so clever on so many different levels because so many different mistakes were made to get it where it was. It was
Really?
It was originally Spaceballs, a Mel Brooks movie.
Yeah, Tim
it was
Allen
just
is deep.
really
Yeah.
stupid.
I love Mel Brooks, but it's better than Spaceballs.
Well, it was really a simple comedy. It turned into this movie because Dean Parisot is a documentary director. He took over the movie after they didn't want it, this Spaceballs thing, and he didn't want a comic.
Yeah, and he's he's got style. Both Bill Maher and Tim Allen look good for their age. They dress camera ready. Okay, they're not slobs. Uh, like Shane Gillis and Matt McCusker just sprawled out on the couch, or um, any one of them, even Stavros. Uh, they don't have to get dressed up just because they're doing a special. Now, granted, Tim Allen's got quite a bit of money, but yeah, you can see just how much of a professional he is. And same thing with Bill Maher. He's going to get in there and do some talking too. So, but Tim Allen just wants to, do the whole thing. Now, wasn't there something with Tim Allen where, it was one of those things where he was a bit difficult on set? Like people said that, I don't know. It's, I feel like I feel like something had just recently came out about that, or I had seen a video about it, but I mean, I could see why, because if you're, if you're like this, and you gotta make sure it makes sense for you, because, yeah, that might rub people the wrong way. But I think it was a little bit different than that though. But all right, here we are. Tim Allen, impressed with the knowledge and uh and looking good for your age, and you're dressed nice.
He wanted an action hero that could be funny, not a funny guy that could maybe do action. So they parted ways. We got into
Stupid.
Oh, God.
The way they did it is the right way.
Yes.
It's a lot easier to do it the way they did it with you than the other way around.
The other way around. Believe me,
Right? Comedy's hard. Death is easy. Comedy's hard.
I'm so thankful to be part of that movie, but I did this one scene with this guy, Saris, was the big reptilian thing with this head, beautiful, and he's yelling at me, and one scene I'm supposed to fight him, and I'm a comic, and I go, so what exactly would I do with the 7-foot reptile? And I'm a loser from Earth, and so me and the actor, I said, where are his balls? Could I kick him in the nuts? I mean, would that be funny? And he goes, you think you're. And so our joke was, you're looking for these, like they're under his shoulder. It was
well, what would Bob Hope do?
Isn't that wild?
No, but
Okay. So isn't Bob Hope isn't that the Troops too?
Bob Hope was one of the great comics, stand-up, vaudeville. They put him in movies because, he did become a parody of himself. But those movies with Bing Crosby are funny.
They are funny.
And when he was still that wisecracking, playing the coward.
Right.
Reminds me of what you're talking about. Like, a comic knows how to play that, the coward, and make it funny.
But
and an actor is, actors, I love them, but but thinking ain't their big thing.
I did Shaggy Dog for whatever reason. I missed the mark.
Okay, so yeah, Bob Hope, MK Ultra, that, yeah. So he's Tim Allen might be connected to all that stuff. I mean, that's all that he's been talking about. He's saying the quiet part out loud. You don't really see that old Detroit face anymore on television, do you? That old middle American
to me. But Robert Downey Jr. had just gotten clean and was in it. And that guy is so freaking brilliant. He looked at comedy as just another form of drama, which it is. So he would do the comedy parts as though he's doing a dramatic piece. He'd get into it and he'd get into the dramatic piece. Then he goes, and then I got to be funny, as though it's that simple.
No, he is great.
He is so freaking great.
I mean, the Sherlock Holmes
Yes.
movies are great.
He is great.
Also,
he
do you remember the one he did with Ben Stiller, Tropic Thunder?
Oh, yeah.
Which is just there. You probably couldn't get it greenlit today because it's so politically incorrect. You know, he does it in blackface.
Yeah, I know. Believe me.
And they did a documentary.
Bill Maher keeps interrupting him. And I guarantee you, Tim Allen's not used to that. Okay, I guarantee you, no one interrupts Tim Allen, but he's taking it well. But yeah, he's done it several times now.
And they showed outtakes, and they showed like him and Ben Stiller. Ben's just doing the directing, and it's a close-up on him. And he's just doing take after take of variations of this speech he's doing. And Ben's like, oh, that was so great. Let's do another.
Do another one.
You know, that's a director's dream.
Right.
To get an actor like that.
Well, that in his
brings
case,
that to the table.
I've never seen anybody where like he was so good. I told the director I was kidding. He says, "I want all this cut. I don't want any of this in the movie." He's making me feel like I'm so insignificant because I can't do anything that I can do. The funny stuff like this, but he could switch to drama, and you're buying it. You know, Iron Man, with the first Iron Man, what I consider one of the best superhero movies ever made, he was able to be very serious.
Right.
And then he's in what kind of metal suit? He's in trash cans in that one of the scenes. You bought every single piece of business that he did in that thing.
Tim Allen is very complimentary on Robert Downey Jr. So he's either very competent within his field and has no problem complimenting another. He's not doesn't see it as competition, or that's why he never drink water. Doesn't see it as competition or anything like that. He recognize people's good work. Or is it more, Tim? Okay, is there something else that you're trying to say? Are you going to talk about Tom Hanks right after this or something? What are you really saying?
Iron Man, what I consider one of the best superhero movies ever made, he was able to be very serious.
Right.
And then he's in what kind of metal suit? He's in trash cans in that one of the scenes. You bought every single piece of business that he did in that thing. So he can do that funny. I did a movie with Mammoth, though, in Red Belt. And
oh, yeah, I saw it. I've seen all those movies.
There's no funny parts in it. And it reminds me of when comics are in movies. I've done some with Marty Short. And Marty, if he's not being funny in the movie, he feels like, well, he did another one, Rich Report, wasn't it? Jungle. And he'd do stuff, and you go, Marty, you're just answering the phone. Oh! And he always has to do something with his legs. It's oh! And I go, no, Marty, you're just sitting down. Okay, but I'm going to get up and,
No.
Oh!
He can't walk out.
He can't.
Without getting a bit. I mean,
Something-
whenever he was on Real Time, he'd walk out, and he does whatever he does. He is just a laugh machine. Like
it makes me sick to my
The only other one like that is Dana Carvey.
Yes.
The two of them, like, they just can't stop, and their batting average is like 980.
Yes,
you know, everything they go for
It's funny.
actually is funny.
I literally have to leave him at a Christmas party. I had to leave. I was getting sick because I can't. I'm funny with him for a while. Like if you ever were around Robin Williams, the late Robin Williams, it was
similar. Yeah,
it's very similar. He won't shut up.
Right.
He just keeps going. And my wife and I,
Right.
he came out of a gym someday.
Bill's like, yeah, I know the feeling here. Like,
He just keeps. going. And my wife and I,
Right.
he out of a gym someday, and we started talking about what was going on, and we knew something. And he's just doing bits, and my wife goes, "What just happened there?" He just kept talking. They go, and I had to translate. Oh, he's working on his relationship right now. He's got a movie coming out. And he didn't really like this. He didn't say any of that shit. I go, well, he's doing a bit about this. He's doing a bit about this.
But I got to say, both Robin Williams and Martin Short are really smart guys because they both did the panel of real time, which is a hard thing to do. It's mostly for the pundits. It's not for show people. That was the old show where we mixed the show people in. This is almost never that. And they found a way to still be Robin Williams and Martin Short without like taking over the show and making it into a carnival, or and also having serious moments and being thoughtful, and to pull those both off. You could do it and you should do it, but you never respond when we try to get you to do it.
Well, my email is packed. I have a lot of issues.
You're cleaning out your shitter in the RV. So wait, you go on RV trips, you go on.
Okay, well, I'm trying to see if they can get back on the. I mean, was the UFO? Yeah, the UFO was kind of over with, and then, well, Bill Maher really can put out some good interviews, and because he can kind of almost annoy them, so that they become a bit reactive. But let's see if okay. So this can go on. This segment will go on for just. We'll finish this segment.
Trips, is that what you said?
Train trips, and then this.
But why does a man of your vast wealth, who has a private plane, what is it about like an RV or a train that you find, is it relaxing?
Well, I did it for my wife. She always wanted to do an RV trip, so we did all these. My youngest daughter.
Okay, so he talks CIA. He has a private plane. He's mentioned children with being displaced without parents, and the CIA taking care of them. Is he running coke for CIA?
She always wanted to do it, so we did it. And the train trip we did was in order to get to the Orient Express. I wanted to be on that train. I love trains. So I did that train from Paris to, not Paris, Rome or someplace in Italy. And you're on a freaking train that's like it's like an opera house. Everything's $2 million. Everything you touch, but you're on a freaking train. So all night long.
What do you mean? You're saying it's ornate?
You can't get more gold in wood, and everybody's got to.
Ask Trump.
This is even past that, because everybody, you got to wear a tuxedo into dinner. You got to wear a necktie. There's a piano player.
This is a train.
It's an amazing experience.
I don't want to get into politics, but this is, the gold. I don't care. But it does look like Saddam's palace.
It's
and I don't care.
You can't stop.
That's his taste.
That's his taste.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I met the dude at a dinner with his wife, who was genuinely a wonderful person, and he was more. This is
Bill,
I think the second to last year, the last year of The Apprentice, and he was thinking of moving to Los Angeles and being a movie producer. And he was talking about movies. He said,
really?
He said, I really like the film business. More than that, the guy's addicted to comedy. He was I was, killing at the table, and he's going, what a gift to do that. He's laughing about this and that. And he was a genuine one of the guys, I don't know if he was he sits and talks like that. When he listens, he's
a good listener.
He's a good listener.
I go, this is what the left hated me, that I went to the White House and talked to him and then did not lie and say he was a monster in the White House. I just said it's the truth.
He's not a.
You got to meet him. You got to deal with him on a personal level.
And then you go, who is it? It reminds me, and I love Howard Stern. It's like Howard in person is a genuinely kind, wonderful guy, but he gets on the air and I don't know what happens. I always said if I was the adult in the room, I would take Donald's phone away from him and get him involved in infrastructure. Here, he would. I don't even know when people hear this. He was talking about how to do the roads. I'm a road freak about potholes around my neighborhood in L.A. We don't take care of our roads. It's just one of these things. And he was, to fix the roads in D.C., you got to get the underlayment first, get the sidewalks done. And he went off, and he was one of those news things where he's talking about how quickly he could get the road done quickly in Washington, D.C. We don't need the underlayment, but then asphalt.
Okay. Well,
Top of this, I'm going. That's brilliant. It's not 800 million. I could do this stuff for $6 million tomorrow, and we will get it done.
There's almost nothing he surveys that he doesn't want to fix, whether it's the Kennedy Center. And look, believe me, I am not on the page with a lot of his fixes.
I get it.
But like he looks at Venezuela, we got to fix that.
Fix it.
No ballroom, we got to fix that. Asphalt, we got to there's just nothing that he doesn't want to personally. He does have enormous energy. You got to give him that.
And I said, just keep him directed on our infrastructure, keep him directed on the power system, the power grid. But I said one of the times.
Does Bill Maher have a herpy? What you been doing, Billy? Why you got monkeypox on your face?
Nothing he surveys that he doesn't want to fix, whether it's the Kennedy Center. And look, believe me, I am not on the page with a lot of his fixes.
I get it.
But like he looks at Venezuela, we got to fix that.
Fix it.
No ballroom, we got to fix that. Asphalt, we got to there's just nothing that he doesn't want to personally. He does have enormous energy.
You won't let Tim talk.
And I said, just keep him directed on our infrastructure, keep him directed on the power system, the power grid. But I said one of the times there's, and I want to out a couple comics. We were sitting there watching one of his speeches, and there's a couple of them, vintage comics, and Sue Young guys, and they said
vintage.
Well, I was saying that Dreesen. I love Tom Dreesen.
I just love the term.
Well, he's vintage. Dreesen, was opening act for Sinatra.
Trust me, I'm getting ready for the day they call me a vintage comic. So
come on, we're like a couple hours away from that.
Okay. Well, it's good to see Bill Maher kind of getting a little taste of his own medicine. Okay, Tim Allen is a little talker, and Bill Maher was trying to chime in a few times there and steer the conversation. Well, not necessarily steer the conversation, but try and get in there a bit. But Tim Allen's got quite a bit in his old noggin, and looks like he still wishes he could get it out. Looks very different right there. Oh, sorry guys. The Zoom a little out of control there. Sorry about that. Okay. Well, again, Tim Allen talking CIA. Whoa. Low screen. Oh boy. Sorry guys, let me figure out what's going on here. The Zoom, the Zoom got away from me there. Okay. Now, he's got 750K. So he's in the 750K club. And yeah, it, very much a therapy session. And so he's got 750K, and on the bigger ones here, 430. Um, I'm trying to find the full episodes because they're not separated, which is ridiculous. There's got to be a way to separate these on a different page. This one's 260. Okay. So not really breaking the 500 club. Okay. So that means Theo Vaughn is more popular than Bill Maher at this kind of stuff. Kind of strange to think about.
Well, in this month's
Oh,
Club
sorry, guys.
Random Classics, we revisit a conversation with my good.
And he had the classics. That's what the whole thing came about. Oh man. Well, we got a little bit of derp here, and I think that's a good way to wrap things up. It's a kind of, although, man, if there's anyone to go in hard on, it's old Duncan while he's down. He seems to be at least partially recovered from the Elephant Graveyard hit piece. Interested to see see what Ben Avery here is saying that Alex Jones attacked him. So Alex Jones is talking about Ben Avery, according to this. He's got some decent views. He sits in probably about 1,000. Some are 500, 800. Let's see here. Excuse me. 11 bar radio. This is, oh wait. Did it say that his subscribers there too? Oh, come on. Okay. So, okay. So not quite. Yep, monetized. Okay, so he's just starting out this channel. All right. So he's hitting over 1,000, and well over it on some of them, and right in that sweet spot where you're just about to pop. Okay, so he's gonna get into that milestone marker here pretty quick, and he's got a couple other podcasts too. Seeing where I can find that. There we go. All right. So there's one about old Tim Dillon. Got him 7K. Did a red bar one. Now is this one where he did the red bar effect? Okay, so I didn't get to watch this all the way through, but it was I didn't realize it was also to kind of show the evolution. Oh yeah, right here. The evolution explained. So from when Ben Avery first started, and Red Bar basically kind of ripped into him a bit, but it was because Ben Avery was basically talking shit about him, and then so Red Bar kind of leaned into it a bit and started poking fun of his setup, and he then started changing his whole setup. Okay. I mean, I get one person in the chat suggesting something, and I'm figuring out how to get you guys to StreamYard. So I can imagine someone just ripping into you like that. But no, bring it on. No, don't, not from it. But I did take a little bit of a beating in the comments. So all all things that I gotta work on. But so that basically to say that was a pretty good one. It's a bit lengthy, but didn't quite know what I was getting into, and it was every time. It was each time that Red Bar mentioned Ben Avery, and then showed basically throughout it how then at the end he has a kind of a similar setup. So that is the Red Bar effect. I am definitely part of that 100%. And I know names of people that I shouldn't know their names because of this person. So, and I couldn't imagine not knowing Mercer Melton's name. No, I could do without, but it's although that's just a lot of great entertainment. So it's a sad life. But here he is on this next one. Just want to peek in real quick because I always try to get a Ben Avery in, and I don't think I've gotten to one of his yet. Maybe one of them. Oh, I think the Red Bar one. But even then, we kind of skip through it a bit. And I did want to see the one he did with Jeff Dye, or about Jeff Dye. Seemed like that one got him a few of the Kurt Metzger views, as I call them. Because anytime I get old Kurt up there, he bumps me up. So, gotta make sure I don't overdo it. But old Kurt, he's just popping out some great material. And it's not a bandwagon thing. I've very much enjoyed this stuff for a while, and so, but I probably should ease up a bit, so he doesn't, so I don't upset the bear. But let's take a look at Ben Avery here, and again, he's got a kid. Looks like he's he's taken to the ice cream bin a few times now. So he's going through the whole stay at home dad kind of thing. He'll be teaching his kids how to how to play hockey soon. But I like the attempt. And it's more than an attempt, but I like seeing people do their thing here. So let's take a look at old Ben Avery. So see what happened with Alex Jones. So
Lemon Bar Radio.
and I'll just say right now, now granted, Tim Allen might be a little, like you might not be able to take too much of Tim Allen, but as far as the information he was saying, I would almost would like to see Tim Allen on the radio show talking about all this stuff. I don't know if you could actually do that. I think he just looks like someone who gets angry, and so maybe it's better that he doesn't. But he seemed to be a bit more entertaining than what Alex Jones has been lately. And I, wasn't much of a follower of old Alex Jones, but he seemed to be pretty entertaining at times, and has gotten some things right at times. But as of lately, even his voice sounds different. So he's gone through his whole transformation, and he's talking different. He's attacking people. Yeah, it could be one of those alien drones dressed as Alex Jones, spreading misinformation.
A clip in this.
This red state. I mean, he's just state media now.
Well, like
He's at the inauguration watching Trump get sworn in.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, he'll go back on his show and he'll be like, I'm just a comedian. I don't know anything. It's like, well, you inform people how they should vote. So you must think that you know what is best for people.
So right off the bat, old Ben Avery's got a point of view. Okay. So that's what people want on YouTube, is a strong point of view. I have yet to get and develop that. I am down the road. I mean, right down the middle of the road. I'm, old Jeff Dye up in this stream. But Ben Avery just calling people out right now.
Like you can't dismiss yourself as just a comic anymore. You're actually saying, like, no, I'm happy I swayed he said it on his show, I'm happy I swayed the election to some extent. So you do think you know what's best for people.
Plus, again, total straw man. Every once in a while, he'll be on the subject of science or something. He'll just say, I'm just a comedian. I'm not sure about this. But most of the time, he says he's 100% sure. More straw man about these little men. Little men want to say somebody isn't real. Let's continue.
People. So your political opinions and everything, you are trying to push the culture.
Okay, so this is InfoWars watching a Ben Avery clip. Okay. And Ben Avery is talking about Alex Jones. Sorry, I was a little turned around there. Because again, I really haven't watched much of Ben Avery. I get a bit distracted by seeing his cherry cokes on the desk. Now it's not this setup. It's a different setup that he has, but he'll have pop everywhere, soda, cherry coke. So now, because he was talking about swaying the election, I thought you might have been talking about Rogan having the president on, or having Trump on Rogan, but let's see.
State media now.
Well, like he'll
He's at the inauguration watching Trump get sworn in.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, he'll go back on his show and he'll be like, I'm just a comedian. I don't know anything.
Mhm.
It's like, well, you inform people how they should vote. So you must think that you know
Theo Vaughn,
what
man?
is best for people. Like you can't dismiss yourself as just a comic anymore. You're actually saying like, no, I'm happy I swayed the. He said it on his show. I'm happy I swayed the election to some extent. So you do think
Hey,
you know
Odin,
what's best
welcome
for
to the
Hey,
chat.
Posse, again, total straw man. Every once in a while, he'll be on the subject of science or
Yeah, we're just taking a look at some Ben Avery here. Been kind of all over the place today, and might get some Kerp after this. Kerp just dropped a new one. Okay, so I gotta allow a little bit of time. But we'll see how that one is, because he's talking to that high school teacher who has the name professor in the front of his name, and he's on YouTube or like TikTok or something like that. But
he'll just say, I'm just a comedian. I'm not sure about this. But most of the time, he says he's 100% sure. More straw man about these little men. Little men want to say somebody isn't real. Let's continue.
People. So your political opinions and everything, you are trying to push the culture a certain way. And look, I'm glad Trump won. I'm glad. I hope the groceries come down. Okay. But
why, Ben? So you can buy some more ice cream? 2 quarts ain't enough for you? Not willing to invest a small fortune into ice cream? Has ice cream gotten more expensive? Because old Ben here, I saw that he was shopping for some ice cream.
Media now.
It paused.
That's what he is.
So he knows Trump's still super popular. So he's like, look, I'm pro-Trump. I just want to attack his big supporters, put their necks out. Continue.
He's state media. He's not like, oh, I'm just an idiot. I don't know shit. No, you are the state media. You might as well. You should just be recording from the White House.
It paused again. State media is paid by the government, giving talking points. Not true. Continue.
That's fine. I don't give a shit. But don't call.
I will never have someone pause and unpause for me. I can imagine, and then what? And tell them to zoom out and zoom it. No, it's like having another man mow your lawn. Okay.
Yourself a comic who's just trying to make like fart jokes and stuff.
You know what's even sadder than that? Alex Jones is like state media now.
Yeah, so Alex is a big fall from grace. Alex is constantly defending Trump's anything Trump and Elon do. Alex is just eating the poop out of their buttholes.
It's embarrassing.
So very very creative with the analogies there, Ben. I'm sure it's nowhere close to home on those. But again, this is why, I mean, I don't want to say just, but he's, pulling a few thousand, and old Alex Jones is pulling them up on the screen. So what's he doing to have an opinion for? Okay. So that's why, you ain't a man if you got an opinion. Okay. I mean, no man I know has an opinion. So, because who would want to be pulled up on old Alex Jones' screen and his legion of sane people Ooh.
Hard to watch.
I know.
They're coming after you,
to
Ben.
Alex go from where he was to now he's defending
Mhm.
like the billionaires and the tech oligarchs and defending the president of the United States. Unfortunately, power corrupts, right?
Mhm.
And they have they got him in the pocket now.
He went from
They got
being
him right in the pocket.
he went from being at the top to being a bottom.
He did.
It's hard to see.
It's really sad. I still love him, but it's sad to see what he's become.
All right, so let's respond to this. Let's respond to this. We are the body politic. We are the people. So
His voice now, it's
respond to this. Let's respond to this. We are the body politic. We are the people. So I'm not state media. I am the state. Not the fake governmental facsimile trying to tell us it's the state. I represent the will of the populace.
okay. See, his voice has changed. Is that you, Alex? I mean, good on him if he's getting in shape, but I mean, imagine losing your radio voice. Ooh. You ain't no man in my opinion if you lose your radio voice.
The will of humanity. And I've bent the will of the state, the global estate, to our aims.
That is Alex Jones. What kind of voice is that? Is he losing his bravado? You lose your belly and you lose your bravado? And he's trying so hard to have it sound like that. But it's sounding like this. You know, like it's not even the people who impersonate him sound like the old Alex Jones. Like you can't sound like the new Alex. No one's impersonating the new sound of Alex Jones. It's all in the deep state, in the global elite.
I represent the will of the populist.
So
the will of humanity.
So this is going to be a new voice here. New voice.
And I've bent the will of the state, the global estate, to our aims. I'm here to make the system bow. I'm here to crush the globalists. I'm here to stop corporate tyranny, totalitarianism, communism, fascism, Islamic fascism, Israeli control of the U.S., any of it. And my track record is clear. So my defense of this truth is not a defense of myself, it's defense of the reality and the power of the people. I'm not state-run.
What are you?
I am the state. All right, let me hit this because I mentioned.
So yeah, that's a strange voice, if you ask me, and he's always had, a very, as Jan said, grating voice. Yes, and but this is new. So, this is gonna be a doozy. So, Ben Avery, like me, likes the long form. He doesn't. He likes the. See that's why I had to kind of skip through the Red Bar one because it's like the whole footage.
So my defense of this truth is not a defense of myself, it's defense of the reality and the power of the people. I'm not state-run.
You ever said this?
Because anybody that sticks their head up and actually gets power with the people gets accused immediately by the armchair quarterbacks of
Mocking Christians.
No.
And
He used to like make fun of.
people don't know this, but about 3 years ago. I said, Joe believes in God now and believes in Jesus. I'm not talking about our private conversations, but he's had some experiences people have. I'll leave it at that, like their girls. But you know, Joe goes to church every week. I'm going to stop right there. Joe prays every day now. You didn't know that little chicken shit, did you? So just because somebody mocked Christians before and believed in evolution before, but now knows he was lied to, can't somebody change? No, you're the God. You decide. But Jesus said, those of you that accuse people of not converting, you're in big trouble. These are little devils. Listen to them.
Okay. Well, I guess it's not so much a Ben Avery clip as it's, a little bit of Ben Avery lore. And he's got quite a bit, He's got quite a bit of some fan fiction. So, all right, well, we'll move on because I don't want to be watching Alex Jones right now, or there's a couple times during the pandemic I would listen to him occasionally and just kind of balance it out with some other stuff but yeah, he's definitely impending doom right around the corner. So all right, well, we'll eventually get to see a little bit of Ben Avery. I think we have before, but he's climbing his way up, and we can take a look at Kurt Metzger and maybe save Duncan for another day. I mean, I'm not rushing to get to Duncan, but he's you can say kind of ridiculous things. Well, Curb here. Let's see what we got here.
Place where you couldn't really practice free speech.
Oh, I
Then he was in
remember him.
Germany. Yeah, then he was in Germany, and he's like, "Oh my God." Hey, yeah, and he was.
So let's start a little bit at the beginning here, just kind of get a sense of the guy, and then we might skip ahead a little bit. And again, this is the Derp with Kerp 23 at Predictive History, the Multiverse of Madness. And it was suggested by the guest to name that title.
An emergency derp with Kerp, what with World War III getting started. And that's why we decided to have a great professor to professor talk. Hold on, there's a.
So, Kurt Metzger coming in hot, saying World War III is starting. You guys feel like World War III is starting? There's definitely a lot of wars happening out there.
Holy shit. I hate motorcycle people, dude. I hate them. Anyway, Professor Zhang's on the show. Please welcome Professor Zhang.
Thanks, Kirk.
Do you have motorcycle where are you located?
I'm in Beijing. And we have a scooter problem. We have a scooter problem. So not a motorcycle problem.
Yeah, that's right.
Problem. Because scooters are like rats, so they're like everywhere. So if you're just walking in a park, suddenly like two scooters converge on you and you get run over. So
I never went to Beijing. I went to Suzhou, Hangzhou, Shanghai. Oh, Hangzhou, that's right.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
Hangzhou.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the last one. I did Kung Fu comedy tour there, but Shanghai, that was wild. I didn't really see any.
And he just said, I did kung fu comedy there. Oh, Kurt Metzger. And he's like, of course, I can never get past that. Anytime Kurt talks to someone who's not white, he's got to bring up nationality information. So his last guest was something CC. And yeah, a black guy that looked like he was a DEA agent. And immediately started talking about race and how people don't watch things outside of their race. And here he is doing a kung fu tour in Hong Kong.
Chinese stuff the whole time I was there. It was all like Shanghai looked like the village kind of.
Shanghai is Europe, man. You're not really in China, so it's not. But you were really in the best part of China, so you should come back and visit Beijing. We'll go get duck or something, you know.
Oh yeah, I'll get some duck in Beijing for sure.
Yeah,
I only had hot pot. It's the only Chinese food I had. The rest was very, very high quality, like Western food. That's all that there was on the road.
They cheated you. You know, they cheated you.
The hot pot times. This is 2015. Maybe.
Yeah. So to eat authentically in China, you need to eat pig's brain, rats, locusts. You know,
delicacies they call them. Is this what is this Chinese black magic? Is this goo that where you eat a centipede out of the bowl? That
something like that. Yeah.
Well,
but yeah.
Pangolin?
Yeah.
Is that a real pangolin? I don't know. I don't think you know. I think we got our own Wuhan virus out of Raleigh myself. But anyway, you're a professor. Do you teach university, or is that just like a commercial title?
Okay,
like my judgeship between me and you.
So I'm not really a professor. I mean, like I'm a professor as much as you are a judge, right?
Nice. So 100% qualified, yeah.
Right. So yeah, I teach high school, and I have a BA from Yale, and that's the extent of my education.
The real Douglas Murray.
Yeah, I got sick of school. Yeah.
Douglas Murray has a BA, a bachelor's of English.
Yeah, and he knows everything, right? So there you go.
And he's one of the greatest.
Hey, so I was wondering if you could do me a favor. I was hoping you could title this episode "The Multiverse of Madness" because I'm a huge fan of your show, and I want to call this a multiverse of madness.
Why?
Because like you're insane, I'm insane, and I was hoping that we could go really into deep, insane things I couldn't talk about anywhere else because otherwise, you know, they would just ban me or something.
Well, I was very strange on you.
They would ban you on YouTube, but aren't you on YouTube? Did you say it banned you on YouTube?
No, they would just ban me or something.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was very strange on YouTube. I have a warning that's on the top of my channel that says if you try to downplay the Ukraine situation anyway, they can just take my money from the channel.
Oh,
that's the thing that's written here. I mean, it's absolutely bad shit. You know, also, I don't know if you noticed we got masked, like the HBO version of Watchmen that sucked. We got that deal now with the cops.
Wow, is Kurt
just
serious?
hired anybody to.
He actually has
the Ukraine situation anyway. Well, I was very strange on YouTube. I have a warning that's on the top of my channel that says if you try to downplay the Ukraine situation anyway, they can just take my money from the channel.
Oh,
That's the thing that's written here. I mean, it's absolutely bad shit.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
and also, I don't know if you noticed, we got Masked, like the HBO version of Watchmen that sucked. We got that deal now with the cops. They just hired anybody to be an ICE cop.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, yeah.
they're going about it in a way I wouldn't have picked out for them to go about it. And then on the other end, we got to what did they just Washington Post? The reporter just got his house raided.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. They're overrated and sellouts to the system. Yeah, trying to get funded and agree to do research that you don't want to do. Oof. And you're just waiting for that tenure so that you can finally do all the work for yourself now, for your own ideas. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking Cash, Dick Tracy Patel, that hero. I mean, what? It looks like we're. I don't know how. I feel like we're China without the good monorail kind of now.
So there's this famous Chinese dissident, Ai Weiwei. He's this famous artist, and he left for Germany like 10 years ago because he thought that China was this authoritarian place where you couldn't really practice free speech.
Oh, I
Then he was in
remember him.
Germany. Yeah, then he was in Germany, and he's like, "Oh my God, it's so much worse in Germany than in China." Okay,
I've never. It's so beyond. We covered this on Jimmy's show. A clip of that Ursula. What's her name?
Yeah.
I can't remember her last name, but she's doing a rally, and it's something like we're giving all the rest of your money to this Ukraine thing.
Oh yeah,
And some
get
guys
the TA
protesting
to do
her.
work. Yes.
And so cops are carrying him away, and she goes, "You're lucky. In a lot of countries, you'd be arrested."
And Jen, you said that you did some teaching. So you're familiar with all that?
For that, as he's being arrested, like she's saying it as he's being arrested. I mean, that's just the peak of some kind of magic trick. How would you make people see a thing in front of their face?
Apparently it's the worst in Britain because if you start a pedophile ring, you're protected by the law. But if you speak out against it and say that there are certain ethnic groups that are responsible for these rings, then you are put in jail.
Yeah, well, that's because look. If you're in the UK, you should have figured out your king's way into it, so that's why they protect it.
Yeah.
Or the Pakistanis doing it? I'm sure they are. But inbred? Did you say they're inbred? Well, funny story. You know who else is inbred and into kids? Your entire ruling class.
Yeah. No, these guys are subcontractors, right? They're like
Yes,
these guys
that's how I
selling
look at
drugs
them.
on the streets. Yeah.
I've been a judge for a long time, and I see a lot of cases. Well, I heard of that years ago. The trafficking rings, the groomer gangs, or something they were calling it.
Gangs, yeah.
It was when I was working for Sasha Cohen's show. So the guy I was talking to, but they're all upper class Oxford kids. So they're like, oh yeah, it's this overblown thing. But England's a small place, dude. It's not something like that is such a it's not like in America. I feel like you could hide something like that better. It's just England. They don't have guns. They got to rely on wizardry still. So that there's nothing they can really do about it. I think they banned ninja swords even pretty recently by name.
Have you ever read John le Carré?
Maybe. What is it?
Oh, John le Carré. He wrote these spy novels. He was very popular in the day.
What are the novels?
So his most famous is The Spy Who Came In From the Cold, and he wrote the Cold Smiley trilogy. And he was MI6. He went to Eton. He was MI6, and he quit the Foreign Office. Was like 35 to write novels.
Wait, he went to gay Oxford.
Yeah. But but I mean, the point is that he never really quit, right? He was always part of that apparatus. And if you read his novels, like it's like the biggest problem in the Secret Service is homosexuality. You know, it's like they're all gay, and you know, which suggests that they're all pedophiles as well.
Do they have rules where like really it's got none? It's really, from what I could tell, have nothing to do with actually like an orientation, which would imply some kind of mutual, you know, enjoyment. It's like a weird power Alexander the Great thing, you know, like can I be AC Doocy? And like why would Barack Obama have to go be a crack escort for some gay guy that Tucker has on? Why would he have had to do that? Well, that's a thing they do in those circles. It's an initiation.
Yeah,
you know, and you like La Femme Nikita, like Obama had to do that move. And so it's got nothing to do with. I mean, if you like, let's say you're gay, you probably got to pretend you're straight. Or if you're like Pete Buttigieg, you got to pretend you're gay for some reason. We'll never know.
That's a great point. Yeah.
Whatever you don't like, you got to sacrifice it. You know, like just show that you're in.
Yeah.
Hazing is a good hazing.
So there's this great comment back in the 2020 Democratic primaries where Cory Booker was up against Pete Buttigieg. And Cory Booker is clearly gay, right? He's pretending to be straight. And he's
doesn't make gay porn the two names.
Because he's pissed at Pete Buttigieg because he just comes out as gay and he becomes more popular.
Just trying to let this play out a little bit.
Yeah. So
see what they really go with this.
Well, Cory Booker is an early like AOC type of like where they media push of like here's a non-corrupt. We're gonna have some changes around here, and then they're you know they're all flipping out about that Mamdani guy. I still know people that think that New York has fallen to socialism.
Yeah,
they're gonna have a Gristedes co-op, maybe, probably not, and stronger anti-Semitism laws. That's what's gonna happen from Mamdani. That's all that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
but people really buy into this still, and now
my theory. Sorry, my theory is that you're like all these DEI guys in the Democratic Party, like Obama, AOC, Booker, Madani, they're all MK Ultra Manchurian candidates. Every single one of them. I don't know what.
Okay, here we go. All right. Sorry, I had to go fishing there for a little bit to find something. Okay, so let's take that back here. Now, Professor Yang here. It's talking about how you can't really talk about things so much without getting banned. Okay, so he wants to get into the deep dish with Kurt Metzger. And oh, look at that grin on his face. He all perked up just like I did. Like, ooh, you said my trigger word. So let's take it back.
Maybe, probably not, and stronger anti-Semitism laws. That's what's going to happen from Mamdani. That's all that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But people really buy into this still, and now
my theory. Sorry, my theory is that you're like all these DEI guys in the Democratic Party, like Obama, AOC, Booker, Madani. They're all MK Ultra Manchurian candidates. Every single one of them. I don't know what sort of condition they went through, but they behave the same way.
Oh yeah, they do. They all behave like George W. Bush. I made a joke that I thought Dick Cheney used to hunt him and his brother naked through the woods, and as a stupid joke. But I think that did happen. I think that's part of it. They do the most dangerous game as training, like the Hilton sisters had to do it, and a lot of well-to-do Mormies at the top, involved in defense. And you don't get, when you get caught, it's you don't get killed, but it's real gross. You don't want to get caught, but you do get caught. And the whole thing is to degrade you down. It's like the book Precious, but at the top of society. They have the same lives. They don't get enough to eat, and they're viciously molested.
Well, if you go back to history, Sparta, the entire Spartan society was structured around the traumatization of children. Because what they would do is they would take these kids, every one of them, away from their families when they were 5 or 6, put them in boarding school where they would just beat up every single day by older kids. And then when they were like 12, they were paired with this older guy who's like 30. And they became lovers. And so this guy became
they called him the Charlie Sheen. It was an actual position in the
Right.
It's-
So all
Oh.
of Spartan society was structured around this concept.
Oh yeah, well, look, shame and degradation are like a good safe to keep your secrets safe in. You know,
Trauma.
like yeah, hide it with the PDF file activity because nobody wants to look at that too much unless something's wrong with them. You know, so it's just like a really good uncomfortable. I don't know anybody that wants to go on about that, but Monarch especially is the one that is informing all this. And nobody talks about it except my friend Emma's podcast does. And in Kathy O'Brien's book, it was some Chinese intel guy first told the guy that wrote the.
So does Kurt Metzger have to mention Monarch every time someone mentions Ultra? Because that's what happens. Now, it could be because he might be just a little bit more informed. Yeah, or maybe he's excuse me. Maybe he's being asked to get some heat off of MK Ultra and put it on the old Monarch. We like to cast wide nets here with our dot connection, but let's see if he ties it back into it because he likes to make sure that people are talking about the Monarch MK, not the Ultra.
Word about this program. So, well, I'm very curious because I think it's, I never bought the thing of they kept saying we might have to fight China for Taiwan. First of all, I think we recognize it belongs to China, like officially, or they say strategically ambivalent, but they recognize it. Secondly, why does China make our shoes and phones and viruses for us? If there are, and then that stupid spy balloon nonsense.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to say is not a spy balloon because it was a fucking balloon, by the way, everybody, you jerk offs. And then they say it's a UFO later. There's so much nonsense involved with it that it seems like they're together. Somebody's in on it together, not as a country, but like either corporate or just like whatever interests that are the nations don't matter and borders don't matter. There's just like really powerful families. Let's put it that way.
Exactly. Look, Wall Street and the Communist Party are the best of friends. Okay, I mean these two groups are so closely knit. And look, you just Google where these princelings, the sons and daughters of the communist elite, where they went to school and where they're living now, and you recognize that, oh my God, it's the same club. Like these kids of Wall Street, these kids.
Oh yeah, the princelings.
They go to the same schools, man.
I hadn't even thought of that. I was trying to remember what they called it, but I was thinking about that because all the 60s and all the stupid fucking rebellion they made up, they're all the sons and daughters of the generals. They're all like the princelings.
Yeah.
The guy from Crosby, from Crosby, Stills and Nash, his real name is like Van Woutenberg Deutschen. It's something crazy, and he's like a incredibly important bloodline if you follow that kind of horse shit, which these people do. So the princelings are everywhere, aren't they?
And you look at like the major social media influencers of today, guys like Andrew Tate. Guess what? Their families are CIA,
Yeah,
and
I thought they'd throw to fight better if there was but most of it's about manipulation, really. Yeah, his dad's a
chess player,
chess champion. I don't think people get the extent of the infiltration, but whatever. When I went to China, it was very interesting because it was like a funhouse mirror of like the same, like any of our movies that we have, they. Once I saw like what's that famous one in China?
Just trying to let this play.
It's like a Chinese Rambo. It came out like not that long ago.
Oh, Wolf Warrior.
And then you could tell it was big because people were using the term Wolf Warrior diplomat. Like that's what right. Like Trump saying the Don Road Doctrine, which it sounds like a WWF It's like Austin 316 or like Hulkamania. It doesn't sound even like that doctrine that probably isn't valid in a legal sense of any kind.
Yeah. So I was going to say, like, how we know that this U.S.-China conflict is all just a show, it's not real. It's the fact that Hollywood has not made a movie where China is the villain, right? Think about that. Where in
they wanted to, but they had to switch it to North Korea.
Well, yeah. So like in Top Gun Maverick, the enemy was Iran, right? And if you look at Captain America: Brave New World, the enemy is Japan, not China, Japan. So
it is. Oh yeah. Well. Oh no. Yeah. Obviously, because Disney wants.
Yeah, and who was that one actor who apologized in Mandarin? He's that wrestler that's in James Gunn's movies or show, whatever that movie is. But yeah, well, China's funding, I'm sure, most of the productions.
To push their move. I can't believe they would push like their own a Mulan that nobody in China would like, which is like a Chinese thing. That was brilliant on Disney's part.
Yeah.
That's why when what's it called? The original I love, where like Russia and Cuba invade, from the guy who made what is it, Mark? You remember? I'm blanking out. The Wolverines, the football team, has to fight the commies that invaded the fucking heartland.
Let's skip ahead a little bit, but again, I recommend taking a look at this, watching the source from the source.
Well, I don't. Mark, my engineer, tells me that Steven Seagal is like the old school conspiracy guy, which I find fascinating. Because I used to joke that he was the only guy, the only actor that I don't think worked with the CIA. But I might be wrong about that. I don't know. I know that.
Okay, he's talking actors working for CIA. Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Well, Putin has good taste then, yeah.
Let's take it back here.
Movie fad, no.
Have you seen Steven Seagal's new movies?
I'm not a movie fan, no.
Okay, well, Steven Seagal, you should check out because he's all.
Is he best friends with Putin? I mean,
say what?
He's like best friends with Putin, right?
I think Putin got sick of him pretty quick.
Oh, well, Putin has good taste then, yeah.
Well, I don't. Mark, my engineer, tells me that Steven Seagal is like the old school conspiracy guy, which I find fascinating because I used to joke that he was the only guy, the only actor that I don't think worked with the CIA. But I might be wrong about that. I don't know. I know that he's got a reputation for, sexual harassment, so he could very well be CIA. That he'd be qualified.
What were some of the conspiracy theories that he was into?
I don't know, Mark. Yeah, you told me about it. I don't know what. I don't think.
Well, some of his early films imply the corruption of government, international trafficking of drugs. So he's partially responsible for writing some of these films, which made me think maybe he had some sort of involvement in the themes and whatnot. But that was a lot of movies in the 80s, to be fair, in the early 90s.
Well, Gary DeVore got his hands cut off, right? And he was writing a Panama movie. The guy made I think he wrote Commando with Schwarzenegger. And then his car lost control, and then they found him, and he had no hands. It was right when we went and got Noriega. And I believe this. I don't know. This is definitely a supposedly, but Noriega had Epstein-like video of our officials with kids right around the same time as the call boy scandal in the White House and all that shit. Do you know? Okay, so if you would go really deep in the shit, I want to know. What do you know about the Lee family? And I think it's Li, is because that supposedly is of the East, like their version of I don't know what our R13. They're like every area has its own, don't it?
Okay, so I don't know what you're referring to because Lee is a very common surname in China. So could you provide some background?
Like the Chinese Illuminati families, Professor, like these
the original triad families.
Yeah, like who would be on the list if we were gonna name like some elite families that we could
And I don't
consider
know
decent?
about it a lot. I know that there's part of it, but I've never, beyond that thing of goo, which is Austin Osmond Spare, the sigil guy, was into that. And so my girl's own podcast, I hadn't watched it, but I had this terrible dream of eating centipedes out of a dish and like a red and gold kind of background. And I was like, this sucks. So why do I have to do this? And I woke up and it tasted so bad in my mouth that I thought a spider went in my mouth or something. It wasn't just like puking in your sleep. So it disturbed me for a while, this dream. I'm like, I bet I ate a bug in my sleep. Anyway, she tells me about this guy later that he was into this thing called goo, and you put poisonous shit in a dish, a centipede, a scorpion, whatever, and you close it, and then whoever's alive, you eat that one to absorb the strength of it. It's like some old, and
wow.
I think I just picked it up on Wi-Fi or something, from sleeping. I don't think I've done that in a past life or anything like that. But that's all the commonalities I notice with like a serpent or a dragon or a lizard that's a dragon I mean, it seems to be very common worldwide that the real important people came from some sort of a dragon.
Right.
Why?
Right. I don't know much about this. Yeah. So, I mean, I think you're referring to the fact that when the British came into China and started the opium trade, it was being facilitated by triads, right? These secret societies.
Earlier, yes, triads were that.
Around, around China, and they made a bundle and they stored their wealth in Britain, in the Bank of England, and after the Communist Revolution, they all went to Hong Kong, and today they still control Hong Kong. So it's a triads that control Hong Kong. So all the movies that come out of Hong Kong are all triad movies. Like guys like Jackie Chan are all triad.
Okay, yeah. Now here, let's see. See what he's got to say about
Jackie Chan's
Jackie Chan.
movies were made by triads, like the way Steven Seagal's were made by the mob.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. Like everyone knows this. Yeah, and Jackie Chan is like mafia, triad adjacent. He's clearly a member of the triad. Otherwise, you can't get big. Yeah. So
is a triad like I mean, I'm saying like the Italian mafia, but is it like a Freemason more than that? Like, is it like there's levels in a secret society, and you got to be, there's initiate. Do they do all that kind of shit?
Yeah. I mean, like you look at any of the secret societies, right? And they're all the same structure, right? You have different layers. You have initiation.
Yeah, right.
You have certain eschatologies. Yeah. I mean, they're all the same.
It's like the original secret knowledge.
Okay. Well, Kurt Metzger, yeah, giving us another 2-hour interview. And just kind of dipping in here to see if anything kind of pops out.
As much as possible. That's all you could do, because I think one side ain't getting, one side is not getting what they're supposed to get on these channels, other than a few, I guess Tucker's telling the truth about it, and some people are telling the truth about it, but it's really out there right now.
Right. So I want to talk about Minnesota, right? Because let's look at the events before the Rennie Good shooting, where Nick Shirley, right, who is clearly this Republican operative, he goes into Minneapolis and he starts making these videos about how these similar daycare centers are actually stealing billions of dollars from the government in order to finance democratic elections, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Elon Musk makes this viral, so it seems coordinated. And then
of course.
Right, and then Trump, what he does is he says that we're going to cut funding for Minnesota, and then he sends in 2,000 ICE agents on January 6th or 7th to round up Somali refugees, and that's when the Rennie Good shooting happens. So it seems as though it almost seems as though Trump wants to make Minnesota ground zero for a civil war, right?
It seems like some shit with Tim Walz to me. I mean,
so a little bit more war talk, and this is the hot topic right now in the news. Okay, that's why I'm not really covering all that, because there's tons of people covering that. I'm trying to find find other things, and but a lot of people talking about war, a lot of people talking about civil war, and World War. So yeah, it seems to be on everyone's mind. So that's why I like to do these sort of things and just kind of have some fun. And but even when you're looking for comedy, the politics just kind of, they're part of it. They're part of society. You gotta take a look at it. But professor here thinks that the internet guy, the Nick guy who discovered, well, I guess he did discover that there's a certain building that wasn't being occupied by the people that said it, that were there, and they're supposed to be getting funding, and there wasn't even any children there, and the spelling was wrong on the learning center, and I believe that happened right before Christmas, and it got really popular, and everyone started talking about it. And he's saying that Nick is an operative, so he and that's coordinated, and that there might be even something bigger as having Minneapolis as the ground zero, the vortex of a civil war. Did you say, or just so? A lot of war talk. But here we are, and we're gonna see what Kurt has to say.
That operative kid, so that kid's supposed to be like the good side Fuentes. He's like the Nick Fuentes Twinkie that loves the Jews, and like the good alternative Fuentes.
Right.
And his first story is this big one, this old-fashioned Mormon front virgin, we'll call him. And so I don't know, Tim Walt, this is just like some thuggery shit that they were just doing to Trump before he came in. Trump has pardoned one of the people involved in the scam, by the way, already. Somebody's already been pardoned in the scam by Trump. It's already happened.
Right.
So of course there's a scam going. Of course there is. What is that? I mean, that's bad. Go lock up Tim Waltz. Is anybody going to jail yet? Oh no. Oh, also, it's everywhere. That same scam in Minnesota is in all the places. Assholes. They gave all your money to fucking Ukraine to lose a war.
Now, I've heard other people say that old Tim Waltz, once he goes to public life, steps down and goes to public life, it would be a lot easier to prosecute him. So, but that's other people. I didn't. That's not me, but
they're giving you money. Oh, we kidnapped the president of Venezuela so that we can get oil to Israel in time for this Iranian push. And I'm watching psychopaths talking about the Iranian protesters, which are, I think, exactly just like the thing in Tiananmen Square, which I remember being very shocked to learn was a George Soros NGO thing. And WikiLeaks revealed what really went on with that. And I mean, that's like one of them kind of, who told me? Jackson Hinkle with his stupid, he's got great hair, that kid. But he showed me the video. I thought this guy got run over by a tank all
Yep.
these years in this picture, in the poster. And then he showed me the actual video. I'm like, that's weird. Billy Joel didn't say. And then he showed me the WikiLeaks from 2011 when it came out, which I'd never heard of. And I'm like, what? And I remember I was like, I was upset. Like, it was a very upsetting to me. Like when I found out 2 Girls, 1 Cup was fake, the same level of anger and bewilderment. Anyway, that's what this is. They're trying to do the same thing. They all do the same trick everywhere. BLM had it.
Look, it's a classic color revolution playbook in Iran where they have these NGOs who organize people, they control the information space, they just brainwash people, and then they bribe certain people to follow along. They have agents go in as provocateurs who lead the protests and who shoot at cops. They've killed a lot of cops in Iran. The thing that they haven't been able to do, which is crucial, is they're not able to bribe the security services, right? So in Nepal, they just bribe the security services just disappear and let these 20-year-olds, run amok. So they haven't been able to do that.
Wow.
And the other thing that was crucial in Iran that changed the strategy is that Iran was able to bring down Starlink, right? They were able to jam Starlink, but not only that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were able to do that. They were able to jam Starlink because that's how they were able to coordinate. They were receiving orders from overseas, and they were able to coordinate these protests. But then Iran, with help from the Russians and possibly the Chinese, they were able to jam Starlink. But not only that, and this is what's crucial is, once they jam Starlink, they were also able to pinpoint Starlink modules. So they knew exactly who was organizing these protests. So now they're able to just round up all these Mossad assets all across Iran. So this is a huge, huge defeat for the Israelis.
I had no idea they had rounded up the Mossad. I knew it was a Mossad thing.
Yeah. And that's why Trump is delaying the airstrikes, because the idea of a color revolution is you have these protests spread, and then you have the airstrikes in order to destroy the morale of the military, the populace, and show that the protesters are winning. And then you embed insurgents into Iran to start challenging the authorities. So I think they sent in some Kurd insurgents a few days ago, and they were wiped out because Turkey betrayed them. So it's a very complicated situation right now in Iran.
Right. Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah. So, but when this happens, okay, the next stage in the playbook is false flags, right? Because they're not going to give up.
There's been a few already.
Well, yeah.
Israel's done quite a few, I would say, in a row where I haven't forgot about. There's that couple that got shot and the guy laid down a Palestinian flag. There's no way that's not some program Manchurian candidate guy.
Yeah. This is like outside the Israeli embassy, right, in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
And this couple were Christian Zionists who were working for the Israelis, and
I thought
they
were Jewish.
engaged.
I thought they were Jewish. Am I wrong about that?
I don't think they were Jewish, but I think they were Christian Zionists. They were evangelicals, and they had just gotten engaged, and then they died.
Wow, I hadn't heard they were evangelical. I'm going to check that because that's interesting.
I think so.
It was put out there as if they were Jewish because Bondi Beach, and those are a bunch of Chabad people, which means they got used as sacrificial lambs for that.
I think so.
Because Chabad is is Chabad. They're not good.
Yeah.
And so and it's a they accidentally, like, a Muslim guy helped some people being shot, and they were or to stop the shooter. And they were hoping it was going to be like something not that, but they do this all the time. I mean,
he's just gonna keep on cooking. This is gonna be a good one. And I got nothing to react to or add. I'm just taking it all in. So I'll reserve that for my own time, and I do appreciate you guys coming along for the ride, just going out there to find some funny moments and a little bit of conspiracy along the way. For me, I think that's a fun route, and it keeps things interesting, keeps them light, but you can still dive deep. And because I know in the morning time when I got my coffee, I'm all watching the news, or not the news, but people's take on the news. I don't won't watch the news directly, but I need a secondhand opinion on that news. Um, so no source content for me on the news, and I don't want to see different angles of things and all that. Okay, you ain't gonna show me a different angle of it and then cut it off right before the moment. Okay, I need to see the whole thing. Which, by the way, I don't know if you guys had seen. Who was it? I believe it was um might have been Ian Carroll or old um Baron Cohen showing the moments uh before the old CK shooting, and yeah, people are still talking about this and all that. But what was I gonna say about it? That he had mentioned well, see there, I realized I was about to talk about the old Charlie Kirk assassination, and I just didn't want to do that. But anyway, it's about that time to wrap up. Losing that old train of thought. Appreciate you guys going along, and we'll see who else is out there, and oh yes, the comedy and conspiracy stuff, just kind of that way it's not like direct news stuff, but it can kind of be more exploratory and fun. Not to say that the other stuff isn't necessary or that, but it's a bit of a break from all that. And but I'll give me the right medium, and I'll get into it. I'll get into it. But no, I know nothing about that world, so, and I know very little about this, but I'm curious, and I lot to explore. So thank you very much, and I appreciate the watch hours. Thank you so much for sticking in with these long forms, and there'd be times where it'd be crazy and loud, and other times where we're just kind of seeing if there's some hidden gems. But yeah, so here it is. Kurt Metzger's new drop. It is the professor, what's it? Professor Yang at Predictive History, the Multiverse of Madness. Check that out. Watch that. That'll be a good one to watch. It seems that professor's got some ideas that he like to get out. And I believe the videos I've seen him in, and I can't quite recall the topic. He was talking about the old genocide, the cleansing. So this should be a good one. So I'm sure they get into all sorts of stuff. So, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.